seconds, but I want it now.
15 seconds.
Yeah. It's weird, Nick, 'cause we've already spoke to each other today, so.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, this feels like just hanging out with the guys, the lads, as y'all say.
The lads.
The fucking lads.
All right, we appear to be on YouTube.
Yes.
Let's go then.
Let's go.
Stu definitely has work tomorrow.
Let's start the
I do, I'm
motherfucking
back at
show,
work.
bitch.
All right, the music's playing. Zip it.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yep.
yo to the veteran
Yeah,
gamers.
come on.
The other fellas will tell you about every single game
right.
they've been playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie
Forget
pick.
about the
Stu
pitch.
story
When do we
time
get
and
the
Chin's
freaking
getting breakers.
guns?
Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
I withdraw my
It's
question.
the veteran gamers.
It's Pomo.
It's the veteran gamers.
Postmodern.
It's the veteran gamers.
Yeah, all right. Weird for the sake
It's
of
the
weird.
veteran gamers.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
Switch
What's
that
that weird
console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
What do I look like? A guy who's not lazy?
Hello and welcome to episode 809 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 809. Welcome, everybody. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And this is not a military veterans podcast. We are veterans of the gaming lifestyle, people.
Correct.
Yeah, we are.
Correct. And we stream live. And we're live. We've got 5
Yeah.
viewers at the moment. We've only just started.
Have we? That's
James
pretty good.
Bevan has said hello. So
Oh, hello.
Thanks to James.
Wow.
The 809 area code is in the Dominican Republic, apparently.
Yeah, and Ludacris has got a hoe there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
he
he's
does
got
in many
because he's
different-
got hoes in many different area codes.
Oh, an 809
Okay,
scam is a form of phone fraud.
Sweet.
How about that?
There you go. While we're mentioning Hippity Hop, Diddy got off this week.
know, yeah.
Boo.
Crazy, isn't it?
Bad. Horribleness.
Yes, he did. He did lots of naughty things. And
Yeah.
Well, let's hope
Was
the
he-
universe catches up with him in some way or another.
I think his
hundreds
career is
of
pretty much
litres of
done.
Baby oil.
Let's hope so.
I think his career's done.
Ugh.
Yeah, it probably is. But he's
Let's
probably
hope
made
so.
enough. He's probably all right.
I hope he's not all right. I want him to suffer for what he did to those
No,
women.
no. When's he been? Has he been sentenced yet? Has it happened?
He's basically gonna. He's not. It's time served, I think.
What? But he said he could get up to 10 years for what he's got done. So
I'll believe it when I see it. I hope that's the case. I just heard someone say it's likely that he won't serve any prison time, but we'll see. Anyway,
Fortune favors the rich.
yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
probably
does.
Bezzy pals with Trump.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, well,
you know.
that's how Eric Adams avoided prison, and Dinesh D'Souza and Joe Arpaio and a whole bunch of other people. But maybe we shouldn't talk about that scumbag.
And Dave Galaba
let's-
and other people I don't
What
know.
Yeah, that as well.
Hmm?
What I want to know is how's the pooch, Duke?
Oh yeah, new
The
doggy.
pooch is good. I got some story times to tell y'all.
Favorite time. It's story time. Story time.
So the Duchess and I got a new dog. His name is
Oh.
Andre. He's adorable.
Andre. He looks
I think I
cute.
sent a picture over.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting it on the stream.
Yeah,
You talk.
Chinny's gonna put him on the stream. He's a very
He's a
cute
cutie
dog. He's a
pie.
border collie mix. And when we went to meet him for the first time, we noticed there was he was having like basically a small nosebleed. And so we're like, okay, what's up with that? And the person who was fostering him said, oh, we'll take him to the vet, make sure everything's okay. The vet said it might be kennel cough. Let's treat him for that. So they put him on this eye goop and put him on these antibiotics. So we're like, all right, whatever. We can give him those meds for a while. Everything's fine. No evidence of kennel cough over the next day when we went to get him. Everything seemed fine. He didn't have a cone on, even though he had recently been neutered. But we're like, whatever. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. It's cool.
Yeah.
So everything was fine. Then one morning I was playing with him down here in the study, and back and forth. He's got a lot of energy. He's really hyper. Wah!
Yeah.
And then I noticed that his crotch was bleeding, and I was like, "Oh, fuck is this?" So I look, and it looks like his area where he had been neutered had started bleeding. So I'm freaking out. I say to the Duchess, we got to go to the emergency vet. We call the emergency vet. We take him there. They look at him and they say, well, it's not a big deal, but it does look like his incision like opened up. So we're gonna put this little like mesh, kind of like a diaper around him, but the small one's too tight and the big one is a little loose. But just put the gauze back in if it comes out and watch him. Everything should be fine. So the gauze comes out immediately. We put the gauze back in. It comes out. We put it back. There's no way to keep the gauze in there, but everything seems okay. So we're like, whatever.
Okay.
Everything seems all right for the next day. Put him in his crate at night, and the next morning we take him out of the crate. He seems happy. What's this on the ground? More blood.
Oh, no.
So we go back to the emergency vet. This is like 6 a.m., mind you. Each time it's before we've had coffee. I'm freaking out. The Duchess is like, it's probably fine. So anyway, we get back to the emergency vet. The vet goes, and it's the same vet, so that's good. She goes, well, it's actually healing better than I thought it would, so we're actually in good shape. A little bit of blood is not unheard of here, so we're just going to go ahead and, patch him up a little bit. Just watch him. If he's bleeding a little bit, it's not a big deal, but, and I was like, okay, hang on a second. Is there any way you could, like, wrap something around him so that we don't have this open wound that we're just sort of supposed to keep an eye on and not bleed all over everywhere?
Hey, that's a good idea. You should get a job here.
I
Yeah,
never
maybe you
thought
should
of
be a
that.
vet.
Yeah.
So they did wrap him up. They put more significantly more gauze, and then they wrapped, like you would when you give blood, one of them, them red wraps around.
I know. I've never given blood. That sounds like a nice thing to do. That's not me.
Well, it was a fine wraparound job,
Right.
and it took care of it.
It's my blood,
and-
Duke. I'm not giving it. I need
Yeah,
it.
he's keeping his
Well, it's a
blood
good
where he
thing to do.
needs
You
have
don't
it
need all
in his
that
I
blood.
need it.
You
I
have
need. I
to-
got loads of it, and I need it all.
Whatever. Anyway, the point is, we monitor him. This morning we took it off. Everything looks better.
Yeah.
He's healing up nicely. He's
Good
got to wear the
stuff.
cone for a week,
Oh,
but
he's got a
he's
cone on.
okay now.
Aw.
So, yes. Lamb's running away. That's my dog. So long, Lamb. That's Grandpa Simpson's
Yeah.
son.
So is he?
So that was the big
Is
excitement.
he a pup? Is he just a little pup?
Well, that's the other thing. When we adopted him, the woman was like, yeah, he's about 6 years old, the vet said.
Oh, 6.
And so we're like, all right. So when we took him to the emergency vet, she's like, this dog is not 6 years old. I would expect the teeth to be more messed up and the eyes don't look 6 years old. I'm saying he's 1 to 3 years max.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So
That's
we're like,
better, though, isn't
okay.
it?
It is better. What's this other vet who's like fucking up the incision for his neutering and not knowing
Yeah.
how old the dog is? Yeah, we took him to the vet, Frank's discount vet. Like, yeah, what do you want? Here's your dog back. He's fine.
Yeah. But that's a cat.
Actually neuter him? Yeah.
That's
right.
a cat. That's a cat. Well, cat, dog, it's all the same thing.
Yeah, what do you want?
It's that weird cat.
So
Yeah.
that was the excitement
Well,
of the week.
Susan.
But then-
Susan in the chat has
Right.
already fallen in love with your dog. So
Well, everybody falls in love with our dog. He's a very cute dog. So
very cute.
glad you like him.
Oh.
But then there was another big thing that happened this week. Because as you know, the kids on Rocket League can
Oh, yeah.
be pathetic, angry dorks,
Yeah.
right? This is just par for the course.
Yeah.
But this week it went to another level.
Oh no.
At one point, I played a game. This was around the time when I got Andre, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember the cops were like, "Oh, that dog's adorable." So this guy starts the game, and I always type, "Have fun, people." This guy types, "Shoot someone." That's fun. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Well, that's a weird thing to say at the start of a game, but whatever."
Yeah.
So we start playing, and at one point he went for the ball while I was about to clear it. Like I was in the goal, I had the shot. He went and hit it because he was near it, and I was like, he was on my team, right? This guy who said shoot
Right,
someone,
yeah.
it's fun. He's on my team. So I try to clear the ball. He hits it. They score. It was his fault. I said in the chat, I had that. I so had that. And he wrote, "No, you didn't." And I was like, all right, whatever. And then he writes, "I'm going to shoot you. That's fun." And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then he writes some coordinates and he goes, "Hey, everybody, here's where Chris is." Because my username is Chris Traeger, like on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So I got doxxed in Rocket League. And this dude on the other team goes, "Ooh, doxxed in Rocket League. That's wild." And I was like, "Could you please report this dude?" I mute him right away. And then I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Was it your actual coordinates?
Was he right?
I don't know what my coordinates are.
Why don't you
the
know
fuck?
what your coordinates are? I've got mine tattooed
What are your
on.
coordinates,
I've-
Jenny?
478 654 484
Yeah, sure.
244
Yeah, that makes
44
sense.
64
Right.
colon
Yeah.
is the exclamation mark. I don't know.
The point is, I was like, I don't know what the fuck. So I look online. What are you supposed to do if someone tries to dox you in a video game? I expect it's a 12-year-old being.
You're supposed to
you know,
call him an absolute dickhead and
Well, I don't want to escalate anything with this guy. Who knows what he's capable
Yeah,
of?
man.
Because I've read some shit about people who are like taking it to the next level on the internet. And I'm not trying to take it anywhere.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
gonna-
report
you're
him.
gonna
I
get
asked the
swatted.
other people.
You're gonna get
I
swatted.
asked the other people in the team to report him, and then I was like, all right, we lost the game. Surprise, surprise. And then I was like, all right. So I took screenshots, and then a bunch of people on different forums said, report him. Report it. Call local law enforcement and like file a report just so that it's on the record. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I call local law enforcement, and I was like, look, here's what happened. I just want there to be an official report. I don't really think there's anything to this, but I just don't want to take any chances. Let you
You
know.
never know.
You don't need to send anybody. I'll probably be fine. They're like, let us know if anything happens. I'm like, fine. So then I was going to the bathroom, and then the cops, the Duchess is like, hey, Eric, what's going on? Are you here? I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. I'll be right up. So they come by, and they're like, all right, what happened? You know, this and that. Yeah. I was just like, oh, God. So they were like, well, the one dude was younger, and he goes, I'm familiar with that game. And I'm like, so you know what it's like. He's like, well, it's probably nothing, but we'll try to see what the coordinates are that he posted, and then, you know, we'll see if we can contact the company. And so he called us back, and he called us back after he left. He called us, and like the caller ID said, no caller ID available, which made me think one of two things. Either that's law enforcement, or maybe it's this guy who found my number somehow and he's hiding his number. Because here's the other thing. When I reported him in the game, I could see his username. When I went back later to look at like recent players on both Epic and Steam, he wasn't listed. So I'm like, how is this guy cloaking himself? He's got some software to hide his steps or something. So anyway, the cop said it's nowhere near where we're at. There's nothing to this probably, but you know, obviously keep an eye out. If anything happens, let us know. But it was just like,
Yeah.
ah, damn, why do people have to be so toxic?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a good job the cops just didn't shoot for no reason and stuff, and just.
And well, it's a good thing I've got that white privilege,
Yeah.
and you know, for women online, it's a lot worse. So I recognize that, you know, it's not so bad for me, but it's plenty bad to have someone put out, you know, what they claim are your coordinates. I've had people put like, oh, he teaches at such and such a high school. I'm like, how the fuck are you locating this information about me? Like, how sad are you that that's
So
what
did they
you
know?
do when you?
Was it the school?
I have no
teacher?
idea how they know.
No,
It's
it was though,
freaking
was
me
it?
out.
No,
Yes,
okay,
it was
it
the
was
place
the
where I
school.
actually teach.
Wow.
How did they know that? That is a bit weird. That one's a bit
It's
weird.
so scary what people can find out about you and then put out there on the internet in order to terrify you. It's an act of terrorism. They're trying to terrorize the people they're playing games with. Instead of having fun playing a game, they're trying to terrorize people, which is pathetic and scary. So everybody out there, please do me a favor. Even if it's not you, like if you're not being targeted, report the people who are doing this stuff. The more reports the company gets, the more likely they are to do something. I hope law enforcement followed up because I think they're more likely to do something if law enforcement gets in touch. And be safe, everybody.
Yeah.
That
So
is-
those are
that
my
is
big
kinda
excitements.
scary.
I'm ready for a boring ass week this week. Everybody be cool. Everybody leave me the hell alone. Let my dog heal up. No more bloody scrotums, please. And we'll have a calm week.
That's the only thing I asked for my week. Really, is no
Yeah.
bloody scrub.
No bloody scrotums, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good title for the show. No bloody scrotums.
Yeah. It's a way to get banned from Spotify.
Yeah, it is. I did think that.
Everything's about getting banned from Spotify. Don't play
Well,
this song.
do you want
Don't
the
play
show?
it.
Do you
Don't
want the
this.
show
Don't
to
do
exist? Do you
that.
want?
At what cost, Chinny? If you're going to stifle my
Hey,
freedom,
I want to sell out.
my lively spirit. Thank you,
must
SLH. I
admit-
appreciate that.
I must admit, I have put some iffy titles in the past and got away with it, but
Yeah. You never know.
I think there's only
The
so
more
far
iffy,
you
the
can
more
go.
risky, I know.
Bloody
Yes,
scrotum. I don't
it's
know whether
true.
I get away
Yeah.
with that.
James Bevan asked if my students know my gamer tag. The answer is no. I'm supposed to keep professional distance away from students, so no connecting on socials, no trading snaps or anything like that. But I did have a student one time. He was such a quiet, nice little kid, and it was when I taught 9th grade. And he came up one day after I mentioned video games, and he had this little piece of paper and it had his name and his gamer tag, and he just held it toward me, and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet, Ryan, but I can't play games with students.
burnt
The
it.
day you graduate, I'll add you." This is back when I played on the Xbox. And the day he graduated, I remember he came to me and he handed me the thing
Aw.
again.
Nice.
And I was like,
I
that's
like
very
that.
sweet. I did play some games with him. He was a very nice guy.
Mr. Nightlaw asked quite a while back now, did he hear on the podcast that I'd gone to Stratford-upon-Avon? I did.
Did
it's
you hear it?
Stratford
Like he
Must-
talked about it for like 20 minutes.
I did. Lovely place. Ginny's favourite place on the planet.
Nightlaw, you sound like you said it in passing. He drew a whole fucking sketch about it.
I did. Where we sat by the river, where we
Yeah.
had
He
our
had an oil
picnic.
painting.
Yeah.
Picnic and Nick. Yeah, we didn't see no Shakespeare though. But what was
Maybe
weird,
you saw
by the way-
him though.
None
Maybe
of
he
that
was there. He said he just got back from there.
bollocks.
Fucking
I don't
Shakespeare
think I'm-
asshole.
I don't think I mentioned this last week, but we obviously have to go and see Shakespeare's birthplace because we haven't been for a while. So I was like, oh, we'll
Did
go
you go
and have
see
a
his
look at
second best bed?
this really old house that he lived in
Yeah.
or whatever. And there was a table tennis table outside, and people were playing table tennis. It
Yeah.
was a bit weird. It's just
Why
a
is
bit
that weird?
As
odd.
Shakespeare did. That's what As You
I
Like It
don't
is all
know,
about.
it's
Table
like-
tennis.
There's,
It's like a historical
Duke, what's that
landmark,
chapter
and
in,
someone's playing
uh,
fucking ping pong
what's that
outside.
chapter in Hamlet where they play table tennis? You know it.
I think you mean the scene in Hamlet because
Yeah,
there's not
the
really
chapter.
chapters.
No,
in
because I
Shakespeare's
checked the
plays.
DVD extras.
Yeah, I think it is.
You know.
And he was like, he's like, whose skull is this? And he's like, Yorick. And he goes, alas, poor Yorick. Let me play table tennis with his skull.
See?
Bop, bop,
See?
bop, bop, bop.
Are thou ping pong?
SLH, she's asking why
Fellow
I've
of
got
infinite
such-
jest. Pop, pop, my serve.
You
such
do have pink
cheeks.
cheeks. SLH in the
Bloody
chat says,
hot it is.
"Why has Stu got such pink cheeks?"
Bloody hot.
I'll tell you why.
Stuffy.
Because
Stuffy it is.
he's a cheeky chappy.
I am a cheeky
He's
chappy.
a
I like
cheeky
that.
little chappy.
Cheeky. Cheeky. We really
Like-
just go
Cheeky.
like that. Like
Yeah.
this on my cheeks.
Yeah, he got pinched by many aunties as a kid, and they've been pink ever since.
They have. They've been pink ever since.
Have we got anything else to talk about before we talk about stupid video games?
I think we
I
should
don't
talk about some stupid
think
video games.
so.
That's what we should have
Where are
named
you
this
going?
podcast.
Story time's
Stupid.
over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What? Hey, by
So-
the way, all right. I looked on one of you know these like little short videos I post. I did one where you talked about Crow Country, Stu.
All right. Okay.
And I've
that's
only
ages
just checked.
ago.
I didn't even remember that I posted. it.
700,000 views.
I've only no, it doesn't got that many views. But I've only just checked. I didn't even remember that I put it on YouTube Shorts. But I checked the comments, right? And Mr. Nightlaw said, "I haven't tried it yet, but I'll give it a go on the weekend." And then hold on, stick with me. And then Jed said, "Wow, this is unique." Armar, veteran gamer #1 fan, said,
Yeah.
I don't love Crow Country, but I do love the veteran gamer show. But my favourite comment is, a shit game and Stu doesn't like it. Wow.
Oh, there you go. No, I didn't like
That was
it.
by
Nice.
Rob. Love you, Rob.
It wasn't for me.
No.
You know, I thought it would be, but it just wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway, we talked about that game fucking
Okay.
ages ago. We ain't talking
we
about
did.
it now.
Fucking ages
No,
ago.
we're
Right.
not talking about
Who's
it now.
going, Stu? You're the gaffer.
Stu's going. He's got the most.
I've got the most.
You got the most.
Because
Go ahead, Stu.
I'm the host with the most.
You are, yeah.
You are the host with
Yeah,
the most.
I'm the host with the most.
Fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Signalis because I played a bit more of this game.
Remind the
Which one
listeners
Which one is this?
what this was.
So
What is this?
it's kind of like Dead Space cross with Resident Evil, but in a top-downy kind of styley with
Space horror.
aesthetics.
Cyberpunk
Okay.
space horror.
Yeah.
That's quite a complicated description, isn't it, when you think about it, I guess?
Yeah.
Also, as I look at it, there's a lot of reading. It's a very 2D
It's a
map.
very story-heavy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of story heavy. So yeah, I think you're a cyber something or other.
Yeah.
Like, you
So
know.
imagine like a
Cyber sex robot.
Yeah, you're like a
isometric fixed
robot.
camera pixelated Resident Evil Silent Hill sort of thing, isn't it? That's what it
Sure.
is.
Yeah, that's a good description. It's very dark.
Yes.
There's a lot of blood. You're
Lot of
kind
blood.
of running around this space station.
Running around.
You've got to solve puzzles. Instead of typewriters, there's like monitors that you save your progress at. And obviously, if you get killed, you've then obviously got to go back. And it's kind of funny. You can only carry 4 things at a time.
Yeah.
So you're going to carry.
Oh,
4
I know
things.
another
So
game where you can only carry 4 things at a time.
Yeah. So you've got to kind of be picky. You got to be picky
Yeah.
about what you carry and what you don't carry with you.
Sure.
But there are like
Yeah.
the storage containers where you can leave stuff and then pick it up later on when you come across another storage container. So it does have that, which is pretty good.
Can you guess what country the people that made this are from?
Do you know? I have no idea.
What kind of vibe Do you think?
Well, he does.
It seems like South Korean, Japanese.
Yeah, South Korean, Japanese.
You are incorrect.
No,
Oh,
probably
no?
going to be like
Go on.
Germany or something.
It is Germany.
Yeah, that was just
Yeah,
a pure
it is
guess.
Germany. Yeah.
The fuck is
guess.
wrong with German people, as they said on
Yeah.
Published by Humble Games and Playerism. Developed by Rose Engine. Germany. Came out in 2022.
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, though. I must admit, I love the aesthetic. It's quite slow. You can sprint, though, but, you know, the sprint's not much faster than a walk. You know, it just
Apparently,
goes
this game
like
takes inspiration from a book called The King in Yellow by Robert W. Chambers.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
There you go.
yeah.
I can't even remember what I'm looking for at the moment, to be honest. I'm just making my way through the space station.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm looking
you
for.
just
I
play
feel
it
like
with-
I'm looking for
You're just playing it
someone.
like you've got no memory of anything. You're just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm like, who am I looking
Right.
for? I don't know. I'm just looking for someone.
Yeah.
It's like I've lost someone.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a girl.
Are you enjoying
But-
it?
Yeah, well, yeah, kinda.
You don't sound
Kinda,
like it. You
but-
don't sound like a man that's
I
enjoying
don't
it.
know. There's some weird shit going on.
Can't
like-
tell. How's he supposed to know if he's enjoying it?
Most of the
There
games
was-
that you play, there's weird shit going on.
Yeah, but there was a bit where I went into a room and there was this woman.
A
hacking
woman?
Somebody up on the
Oh.
floor.
I was gonna say
Right,
that's
hacking
weird.
them up.
If there's a woman,
So she kind of killed them and then was hacking them up.
yeah.
And then she said some real cryptic stuff to me and then just disappeared.
Ugh.
It was
That's what her farts
So-
sounded like.
It did. It did. It's a bit weird. But I like the way it's structured. The puzzles are fine. There's always some way of getting to where you need to go next. Yeah, you've just a lot of it involves key cards, so you've got to find key cards to
Yeah.
get to the next.
I think you said that last
area.
week, didn't you? Yeah. Key
Yeah,
card, red
there's
key
like a
cards.
lift.
And,
Where I got a key in the lift for the service hatch, but I haven't found the service hatch yet, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure where that is. So it's always giving you stuff to do. You know, it's always like, oh, you've got this. So I've never come to a point where I feel like I'm at a dead end.
this
where I'm
this
not
game has
really
been
sure where to go next.
mostly praised, but it has been criticised for its unreliable aiming while shooting. Would you agree?
Yeah, I've not had much. I haven't much problem with that. To be fair, it seems to auto aim anyway.
Well, maybe they
It
fixed
doesn't
it.
seem
yeah.
to be. Yeah, I've not had much difficulty with that.
Okay.
But then I haven't come across tons of enemies as of yet, so I haven't been struggling.
How many hours
with
have you played it, would
enemies.
you say?
Probably about three or four. I haven't played loads of it, but I mean, I'm well into it. You know what I mean? I'm well into the game. But it is a little bit slow at the moment, but it's fine. You know, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not like I don't love it to bits, but I don't hate it either. So I guess
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
There you go.
Signalis.
There's not a lot else to say
Nihilus
about
is
it, really.
kind of a thumbs up from Stu.
Signalis. Signalis.
It's kind of okay. It's just okay at the moment.
Kind of okay.
Kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's a big bag
All
of
right.
all right, and that's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Not
it's
all
big bag of
games have to
all
be
right.
fantastic.
No,
That's
but
true.
I mean, it's got a lot of praise, but I'm not seeing it just yet.
Mm.
So,
But you're not hating it either, so.
Is that,
But I'm not
is that
hating
the TV in the living room, Stuart? I can hear. Jesus.
Yeah, they're watching Slow Horses.
Sounds a fucking
Yeah.
turn it down.
I know they've got it on loud. They've got it on
Christ.
loud,
You got it on what? I can't hear you.
Yeah,
over
Yeah,
the
exactly.
TV.
I know I've got
Yeah.
We might get
explosions and all
copyrighted,
sorts
but for show it
of-
airing.
And it won't be
stuff
my
that
fault
Gary
for
Oldman's
once.
seen
Yeah.
on the show.
Farting a lot.
No, I
Yeah.
think we should be fine.
Oh no, we got another copyright strike.
It was on the video.
634.
That sound clip is very confusing. Very
It
confusing.
Yes, it is.
It is.
And
You're
Duke
welcome.
doesn't fix that when I say that. He just sort of leans into it.
I should fix it, but you know, who has the time? I'm busy getting swatted and dealing with my
Yeah.
dog's bloody scrotum.
Who has
Speaking of which,
who has 6 weeks
this
off?
week I was gonna play a lot of Avowed, and
Oh, yeah.
then all sorts of stuff happened, and I was like, you know
Animals'
what? I need to play
crotches started
something.
bleeding.
Yeah, exactly. I need to play something that I know what it is. I don't have to keep track of anything. And New World
Rocket
was
League.
that thing of like, I want you a little bit of Rocket League, a
You're
little bit of New
so
World.
Duke,
It's
you're
like,
so fragile. Like anything
So fragile.
like anything
Yes.
goes wrong in your week, you're like, I've got to
Yep.
go back to New World or Rocket League. I
need
can't.
to go- I need to
Basically,
play something that's comforting.
I need you to just sit in a room where nothing happens to you for 7 days.
I would love to sit in a room where nothing happens to me, but things keep happening to me. I also didn't mention this week that I had an appointment with a doctor in the next town over, and I was like, I think I could ride my bike there. So I did. I rode 10 miles there, and then I rode 10 miles back.
Yeah.
So I had a hell of a day of riding on that day, and it was pretty good. I had to stop a couple times on the way back because it was really hot and I was really worn out. But, apart from that, it was smooth sailing
Well,
on a bike
ask you
ride
this,
from
dude.
hell.
Let me ask this, dude. Did you have a bloody scrotum after doing that?
I did not have a bloody scrotum. I managed to keep my
bloody-
scrotum healthy while I
You know,
had the
'cause-
Bataan Death March
Yeah.
bike ride.
Because it can, sometimes them saddles are like a razor blade,
I'll tell you what.
Well, not my saddle. My saddle is very nice. Anyway, so I also played a little bit of Call of Duty this week.
Ooh.
And there's a new thing in Call of Duty 6 multiplayer.
No, there is not.
Y'all know about this? Yeah, there is.
Oh my god, is this real?
Have you seen? This is real. Have you seen
I've
this?
just seen the clip.
I've seen I've seen this. Is it Beavis and Butthead?
So for those who don't know, they have Beavis and Butthead in the game, along with a lot of other characters. So I think you have to pay to unlock Beavis and Butthead themselves as player characters in the multiplayer, but
Jesus
you
Christ.
can, for free, unlock Mr. Buzzcut, the gym teacher, and he also teaches Spanish. No, he doesn't teach Spanish. He teaches health. Anyway, and I know that because of the cursing episode where they're not allowed to curse. So, Beavis and Butthead, if you curse, you're going to be kicked out, and you're going to go to Central High with all the other delinquents. Well, you're going to get your ass kicked on a daily basis. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. If you laugh one time, it's right to the principal's office, because this is Sex Ed Week. We're going to be talking about the penis. And they're trying hard not to laugh. We're going to be talking about the vagina. Anyway, you can play as him, and then there's this tough guy, Todd, who's also on the show, and you can play as him, I think, for free. And I have to say this, as ludicrous as Call of Duty has become, this takes it to the next level, because when the round is over, you have Mr. Buzzcut standing there, and they show the top 3 players on the round,
Yeah.
and he's standing there, and he's like, "Arr," and he's always mad. It's a cartoon character standing there. It's like, this game used to
can I
be
just ask,
more
so-
realistic.
Yeah.
So these are full 3D models in the
Yeah.
game. So when
Yes.
you're running around,
Yes, they are.
you're just
Yeah.
full
You're
on
running around.
3D Beavis
Yes.
and Butthead.
They look good.
Because we haven't got that on screen,
do
so
look
we can't
good.
see this.
It is
We
on
can't
screen,
see
you
this.
cheeky bastard.
Oh,
Well, but you
All
can't
I
see
can see
the
is-
gameplay, really. I mean,
No, all I can see
you
is the
can, but
trailer
not
thing.
the actual. Right, this is
No,
the
I
trailer
don't
for
see
but
it.
there's
this
gameplay.
shows you what it looks like.
There's
There is
gameplay.
some gameplay in here. The point is that I think it actually doesn't help you as a player, because when I see one of the cartoon characters, it's easier to tell that that's a person. And
Yeah.
so I just start shooting. I think it's easier to identify your enemy if they are a cartoon.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I think that the problem here is, Fortnite is this beast that does this well,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
Fortnite is
Well, it does it a lot.
Fortnite is the Steven
Ridiculous, over the
Steven
top,
Spielberg
cartoony.
Player One, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Um,
and they have
and
all
it-
sorts of Lego crossover.
Yeah, and it
all
leans
that.
into it, and basically that is what Fortnite is now. Whereas Call of Duty, as soon as they put like Nicki Minaj in it and Snoop Dogg, I was
Yeah,
like,
right. And Snoop Dogg.
I just don't think this is the right
It
direction.
felt like a shameless cash grab. Come on, Call of
Yeah.
Duty. You used to have integrity.
Yeah, and yeah, of course, but I
It's hard to get too mad at Call of Duty.
I just think there is a place for a realistic looking military
yeah, no,
game,
I agree.
and I just think
Yeah,
Call
it's
of
called
Duty
Battlefield 2042.
just hasn't got it now, and yeah,
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Do
I
you know
can't
what,
see
though?
anybody.
Do you know what?
This is the other thing. Hang on a second, Stu. I am blown away when I get shot by someone who has, you can buy bullets that catch flame when you hit someone. So I'm dying and my body is burning, and I know someone paid money for that. That just seems ridiculous. Now, that said, everybody spends money on ridiculous gaming stuff, so I guess I shouldn't really judge people, but on the other hand, come on.
Yes, we will.
What were you going to say, Stu?
Well, what I was going to say is, though, the people who really are hardcore COD players, they're gonna play as Beavis and Butthead just to prove, even though they're gonna be more of a target because they're easier to see, etc., that they can still win as
Sure.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
This is a challenge, isn't it? Because
Well, it is, but on the other hand, when you're playing a 6v6 multiplayer game mode, team deathmatch or whatever, which is all I play, all you have to be is the top half of your team, which isn't, whatever. But yeah, no, there are people who are going to see it as a challenge.
Yeah,
If I can get in the winner's circle, anybody can.
I'm going to be a target because I'm playing as
Yeah.
Beavis or Butthead, and people
Sure.
are going to
Yeah.
target me all the time. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
well.
matter because I'm so good. I'm still going to win.
True.
So, yeah.
So that's a
what'll
game.
happen.
That's a thing that's
Sealy in
happening.
the chat says, COD is really doing my head in now with these stupid skins.
So here's the question, though. What skin could they put in that would get your money? If they did a Portal 2 skin, if you could play as Shell, would you buy that skin?
No. No, I'm just thinking what do I look like? Not
I
even
can't imagine.
not even if it
that I
was
would
like
pay money for.
Arthur Morgan or no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Um,
that really wouldn't fit in Call of Duty.
yeah,
Even more
yeah.
so than
No,
Shell.
that's true. That's true because Beavis and Butthead do really count.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. No, there's nothing really. Me.
Nothing.
Well, that's coming, I'm
None.
sure.
If I
Make your
could,
own
if
avatar.
they went, Mr. Chin.
They did Rainbow Six Vegas too.
We've been listening to
Yeah, we've done that for ages.
The
It's
Veteran
been
Gamers
around for
podcast
ages,
for many
Yeah,
hasn't
but it
years.
hasn't really been done well. So.
We've been listening to the Veteran Gamers podcast for many years, and we've decided to
Yeah.
invite you three to come and get scanned.
Specifically us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And people can, and we're the most
Absolutely.
expensive Game Pass tier, like we have to pay
Yeah.
a lot of money to
Yeah.
get us. Yeah, I think that's it really.
Is that it?
And it's the
Yeah.
gamification of everything. Reddit's got this stuff now where it's like, hey, this comment you posted has 25 upvotes. Stop giving me an alert when I've got some upvotes, man. God damn, I got
No, that's
700,000
like me
karma
on
on Reddit.
with my mixes. It's like, such and such a buddy has liked your mix.
Silly in the chat
Yeah,
said they got my money for Cody Rhodes, but that's it.
Who's Cody Rhodes?
He's a wrestler. I just want the skins to look appropriate for the setting.
And YouTube, like, this is the number one
But
fan.
you know
this is
what?
the number two
Do you know what,
fan.
Sealy? You bought one of those skins, so you're kind of part of the problem.
Well,
Well, hey,
Yeah,
he's...
no, it's true. It's true though. Because if he,
Well,
if he wanted
he's-
to make a stand, he should
They
have
gave
bought
him
one.
something he wanted.
I know,
You're part
but
of the
then
problem,
people
Stu, for
wanna be-
filling up Steam with weird and shit games.
But maybe people want Beavis and Butthead. You know what I
Well,
mean?
hey, it's a
Horses for
capitalist
courses.
enterprise. They're
you know,
trying
I'm
to,
just
yeah.
looking at what
get
they've
it.
got. They've got Seth Rogen,
Really?
Nicki Minaj,
Yeah, we know about Nikki. Is.
Homelander. They've got the
See, you
Teenage
shouldn't
Mut-
want to be Homelander, man.
Teenage
that's
Mutant
the
Ninja
wrong message.
Turtles.
See, I'm
Um,
surprised I'm not seeing any of these. I've never seen Nicki Minaj in the game. I've never seen
I have.
TNT or something.
I've seen Nicki
I don't think
Minaj.
I've seen Seth.
I've been killed by Nicki Minaj.
Has she got a big butt? Has she got a big butt in the game?
She's a lovely lady. A lovely
Got a big
lady.
butt,
Oh,
though.
sorry, Andre. I stepped on the dog's paws.
I like
Oh no!
You're all right, buddy.
butts in a
Where's
can,
the
I
dog?
like.
I want to see the dog.
Here, come on up.
I want to
Here.
see the dog. Where's the
Oh my
dog?
Here,
God.
Step back.
Sealy's just said I've also spent like 300 quid on Rock Band 4 songs this
Jeez.
month, so maybe I do have a
Oh,
problem.
Stu, look at the dog. He's got like a cone on his head.
We got... Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh,
Oh, that's so
Hello,
cute.
hello.
Wait a minute.
oh,
Yeah, he's a cute puppy.
the cone of shame.
Everyone says you're cute.
The
I feel
cone.
like you could just put food into that, couldn't you? And it'd be
Yeah.
like,
Be a
Stick
good
his
little
food in
game,
the
couldn't it?
cone.
Like throw the food into the.
Yeah, throw the food
Yeah.
in the cone.
Yeah.
We're supposed to not exercise him too much right now, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
cute little
Call of Duty stupid. Got it.
Call of
Call of
Duty's
Duty's
stupid, as we all know.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chinny, what have you been playing?
Video games.
Oh,
Video
yes? Which
games.
ones?
Well,
Video
last
games.
week we played a game called The Alters. Stu, have you
We
been
did, yes, we did.
continuing with The Alters?
I have actually. I'm quite into the altars.
I would like
I'm
to
gonna say
know
it right now.
how far you are into The Alters.
Well, I'm not as far as I'd like to be because I've been playing another game a lot. Which has
Okay.
kind of taken my
No
time.
problem.
But the altars, I've done me cloning. I've done all that stuff. You
How
know,
many
I've done
clones you
the-
got?
Well, I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't actually.
So you've
cloned
done your
myself
cloning.
yet. I've done.
He
I've
cloned
done,
the
which-
sheep.
Yeah, which was kind of. You know what? I thought. I don't know whether it's only British people who get the joke.
The dolly.
I don't know whether
The first
yeah,
animal that
Dolly-
was ever cloned was a sheep.
Yeah, Dolly the sheep, and it's called Molly. I
Right.
didn't know whether that was in, because it was a British thing.
That's
wasn't
not a
it?
British joke. It's
No.
a everybody joke, yeah.
I know, but Britain did it.
Yeah,
you know,
just
it was
because
the
we did
British
it doesn't
scientists
mean
who
only
did
British
it.
people know about it.
Well, I don't know. People might not know about Dolly the sheep.
Hey, do you know
All right,
Christopher
Well, anyway,
Columbus?
the fact is, they included the sheep because it was a famous first. So
Yeah.
cloning,
Yeah, it
yes,
was.
okay.
So you haven't
Oh,
cloned
you
yourself at all?
No, not yet, because that's the last thing I did before I saved.
Oh.
So I kind of cloned and then went.
How many
to
clones
sleep
have you
because
got? How many altars have
Because
you
you can
got?
only
Shane?
sleep. You can only save when you sleep.
Yeah, see,
and
that's what I
just
said
finished
last
the day.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a big gap between your first altar and the next time you can sleep. So.
I got 4.
Oh my God. You've
Wow,
been playing this like a
you're
beast.
I'm breeding them, man. I'm just getting rid of them.
growing.
You just all you're doing. Let's go get supplies. No.
No,
We're
no,
cloning
we
more
have
of us.
no food for this.
We'll eat the 5th one.
So
that we
how
clone.
many? Let me ask you. How many days are you till daylight or whatever it is till the?
Well, I'm
start
on
school?
day 31.
Yeah. So
See,
that's
but
happened
actually,
already.
but no, see, actually, because once you get the engineer dude, then you move the
Correct.
station, so it's
Correct.
not as urgent as it seems at first.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Right,
So that's just to get
Well,
you
I
out
assume
the.
that happened. I assume
That's just to get you out the tutorial area of that
Yep.
bit, and then you
The
go to
prologue.
when you go to the first main area. So I might as well talk about it. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm in the first sort of main area, Act 1 they call it, and this is where you start to look for resources, and you find 3 big areas that you can mine constantly, but you have to connect pylons
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because do the pylons in,
yeah.
in the tutorial area.
Yeah, so I've done all that, and then I started creating a clone, and then another one, and the game's pretty linear actually. It's surprisingly linear, where like you've got to.
Yeah, I was surprised by how linear it
It's
became.
it's always pushing you to do the next thing, and you're like, okay, fine. And by day 30, I feel like I started to see maybe a point where a lot of people would stop playing
Oh, already.
because
Interesting.
no, day 30. I'm quite far in. I'm probably about 5-6 hours in.
Okay.
And it's like I'm enjoying the game. For the record, I enjoy it, but like it becomes quite difficult very quickly to manage these clowns, right? Because not only are they real people like you, they've all got their own interests and
Yeah.
priorities. So, for example, the engineer guy is a bit more gruff and rough. The scientist guy is more pragmatic. So he's like, he introduces you to the concept of crunch. So it's like, if you want to get more work done, just put crunch hours, and we'll all work
Crack
harder.
the whip.
And all,
Come on, let's
and
get to
obviously
it.
the other clowns are like, fuck that. Like, I'm not doing it.
Well, I was gonna say who's gonna not go. Why do you have to be leader?
So you're
I'm you
you're
as
the
well.
leader. You're always the leader because you're the first one, I suppose. But
The
like,
original,
I
the
get
OG.
that, but that's
Come on,
only
come on,
until
crack
someone
those
decides
atoms.
You're not,
so
you're not the leader anymore.
on day
Well,
30,
that's why you have to finesse it. You have to
there's
get them to work with
there's
you.
a few things that they don't tell you about, because I think the exploration, the graphics, the way the ant farm base works and stuff is all brilliant. So well done,
Yeah, it's
so
pretty good. It's
cool,
well done, I agree.
right? And I would say that this game is a mix of Interstellar, Black Mirror, and The Sims, sort of all rolled into one, right?
Yeah, it feels about right.
And I really enjoy it. But the things that it doesn't tell you is you've got, when you make a clone, you've got their face at the top left, and I didn't really notice it, but like by looking at their face, you can tell if they're pissed off or not, because they look a bit more angrier and stuff. And I had about 3 that were angry, and I went to sleep on day 30, and I did not wake up because they killed me.
Oh my God.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Holy
Wow.
shit!
they
That's
rebelled
crazy.
against me.
That's impressive though. I like that.
Yeah, so I had to.
So does it take you back then? And
So you
reload
could
and
you can
save?
pick, what it does is when you die, you can pick a day to start off again. So I picked
Interesting.
day 29. You know, I thought, right, and I did it
Yeah,
again,
maybe
and I
not
was
far enough
I was
back.
trying to talk to all the clowns. and I
Hire
was,
one of them to watch the bedroom and
Yeah.
shoot anybody that comes near.
I was trying to talk to all the clowns, and I referred to them as "you stupid clown filth," right? And yeah, and I was
tried
I
to
don't
build
know
a
why they got
rapport.
mad at you.
yeah, I'm talking to them all, and you know everything's fine, and I'm trying to please them, and then day 30 get killed again. So I have to go back 2 days.
Oh no.
And
Yeah.
I'd made some like progress in these 2 days. You know, like I've got this thing that I won't spoil to deal with this other thing that I won't spoil,
Yeah.
and
But you'd obviously piss them off in the process.
yeah, and the only person that wasn't pissed off was the scientist, and I forgot. I realised why I pissed them off. I hadn't been talking to them. I haven't been
They felt ignored.
I haven't been talking to them. I haven't been like sort of talking about their needs and all this. There's a few things you
Forming
can
oral
give
sex
them.
on them.
You find some things and you can like give them things like oral sex, and that's not a feature of the game. But I left the crunch hours on.
Oh no. Well,
Right.
no wonder they hated you.
So there's a side quest to do crunch.
me off.
There's a side quest to do crunch for 2 days, and they'll put up with it for a bit, but after 2 days, it's kind of like,
So
no.
how long had you left it on for?
I left it on for like 5 days, and they were like,
Oh,
they were just knackered.
I don't know why they want to kill me. Oh, just because
Yeah.
I'm making them work without
You didn't wake 'em
meals.
'cause they fucking
So
killed
yeah,
you.
so they
Probably.
go. So there's this. I think the game is great, but there are things that the game doesn't tell you that you've got to
I
work
like that,
out.
though,
Yeah, it
because
is
it's
fun.
sort of like-
It is fun.
Because
But-
it's not a permanent thing, is it? Because like you said, you can go back a few days and fix it. So it's
What I-
not like it's punishing you, but you're learning by being punished.
What I
I
will
quite
say,
like that.
what I will say is where I'm at. Where, there is a point where you start getting 3-4 clones, and there was a moment where I didn't go out of the base for like 5 days because
Hmm.
a lot of it was, and I think this is probably my worst, the biggest nitpick I'm going to have with this game. A lot of it I'm spending them in the menus. You know, it's menu management. Do you know what I mean? And you have to go,
Yeah.
I have to make this to do this, to do this, to do this, and I have to give him this shift. So it becomes almost like a spreadsheet or task.
I don't know
busy.
why you didn't like this game.
No,
Because
no,
I'm not- it
but
sounds like it's
I
your
think,
thing.
like you have
It's
to.
not
do,
that I didn't like it.
no,
It's
you
that
have
it was
to
a
do-
different kind of game than what I thought, and the
yeah,
social management.
The social
part of it,
management is hard.
I wasn't expecting,
It's
and it is
hard.
hard. And it's not even that it's hard necessarily. First of all, it's not New World. It's not a game I've played a million times. So there's that. By the way, 18 hours on How Long to Beat. So there's an investment for you.
Yeah.
But it's also like I didn't want to do a whole lot of talking to people in order to calm them down and get them to cooperate with me. You know what? You know when I do that every day during the
Yeah, yeah,
school
yeah.
year.
And so the game, I think the exploring and mining and stuff is really cool, but there's always something to push you along, right? And that is the sun. Do you know what I mean? The sun is always like,
Yeah.
it's coming. It's because when you move, the sun's miles away, so you got a bit of time, and then it starts to
Yeah.
creep up, and then it comes and comes. So conditions get worse. So the game does a good job of always like sort of gently pushing you, but
Push it.
push it. Yeah, it's the friction of the game is talking to all these people. All the other stuff is quite fun, but when you get to that bit where you have to like really manage the clones,
Yeah.
it gets difficult.
Well, you should be used to this. You're a boss for a living. What's the problem?
Yeah, but I don't have to fucking build them a
He doesn't
fucking.
have like petulant versions of himself.
Well,
Yeah.
in my day,
And he's the
you
boss.
know.
He gets to say crunch, and if you don't like it, fuck off.
No, no.
Yeah,
They're not
what
gonna
if
kill
you
him in his sleep.
They
What
might
if you
do.
though?
They might do.
You
Yeah,
know where
no.
he lives.
About that.
He'd come round to his house and kill
Chinese
him.
employees right now, like
I just go do all this
Yeah, well,
work. I'm gonna sleep on my desk. Bye bye.
they're slowly poisoning him where he coughs up a lung.
Yeah. But what I will say, like, so I think the big friction of this game, the big like sort of this is sticky. This is not as fun as the other stuff. Is the people management. But I don't necessarily hate it because the dialogue is really good, really well done, really
dialogue was
deep
good.
for each character. Each character feels different. It's so clever.
Yeah, they've got their own
I like the
personalities.
way that you know what I'm going to say, Chinny. Like when you have to get the engineer to work with you the first time,
Yeah.
the way you do it, I thought was very.
It's really
interesting. I
clever
was very
because that would
impressed by
work. That would work.
It would work. There's some dialogue lines that felt a little cheesy, but whatever. Overall, I think it was well done. So
Yeah. I think a
I can
reason
see it
why
being a very rewarding experience.
the other game that I was going to compare this to as well was Pikmin. It's very much like Pikmin because you're stranded on a
Yeah.
planet. You've got to get off and have other minions, but you wouldn't call them
Yeah.
minions, to do the work, right? And I think what I love about this game is, and I prefer this across most most stuff that I consume, movies and films and stuff. I like that it's grounded. I don't mind that it's science fiction, but it feels really grounded. Do you know what I mean? It feels like something. There's some things I can believe, but it's got this like realistic weight to it, and I really enjoy that. It's actually sorry, I got a cough. Sorry.
They're poisoning him.
Yeah. It's really cinematic as well. I don't know, you probably played it at the start when it gives you this like really cool intro, and it feels like a movie. It feels like an episode of Black Mirror. I just thought it was it was great. I like the fact there's no enemies in the world.
Yeah, that is a plus.
And the only other dumb
Apart from
thing,
the sun and the radiation.
the only dumb thing is the clowns are fully clothed. I just think that's really funny that they're fully clothed when you make them.
It's true.
Yeah, but no, I'm about 30, probably about 32, 34 days in now, full clowns. I'm very close to moving to the next area, so probably Act 2.
Yeah.
And I adore this game. This is gonna be
I like the look of it.
this is gonna be up there for me. For Game of the Year. I think it's
really
yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's a big claim.
But what have I played this year? I've played like, Indiana
Doom.
Jones. I've played Blueprints of Our Doom. Yeah, I don't know. This is I love playing stuff that I'm like, man, I've seen bits of this before, but
It's
like
something new.
yeah, it just feels
it's
so fresh to
relatively
me. And I've not really heard many people talk about it. I think it's great. I just think it's fantastic. The alters, not for everyone, but I'm really, really enjoying it.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm the amount I've played so far, I'm really liking it. I haven't made anywhere near as much progress as you, or even Duke last week, so I'm nowhere near the same. But I am enjoying it. But I'm going to talk about one of my potential games of the year, and that's the reason I've not played as much.
One last thing I'll say about the alters is it is made by people that made this War of Mine and Frostpunk, and this War of Mine is a depressing game, and there is no good outcome. So I'm a little worried about how this game's going to end, because I don't think it's going to be good.
There probably isn't going to be.
Yeah,
well, you've
it's
already been killed in your sleep.
But it's kind of like Black Mirror. You know what I mean? It's like, there's not many episodes where Black Mirror ends well. Like there are a few, but
San Junipero.
not many. The one where they,
Yeah, and who's a weird, creepy dude who you speak to on the phone? That's the other question.
no, you see him after a while. That's all.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought it was going to be a clone of you, but no, it's fine.
No.
It
But
still
anyway,
could be.
talking of games that could be potentially Game of the Year, I've been playing a lot of Clair Obscure this week.
Yeah.
Obscura.
Clair Obscura.
Clair Obscure. This game is just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slick. It looks nice. The combat just gets better and better. Because the more skills you unlock, the more stuff you can do. And they all look fucking phenomenal. And I'm getting better. I mean, I'm old, right? So my reflexes aren't maybe as
You're
good as they used to
okay.
be. These kids these days.
No.
But I am starting to get the measure of the dodging and parrying, and they've added jump into the mix as well. That happened quite a while ago, to be fair. But
Can you double jump?
No, so basically there are some enemies who sort of they have huge clubs and then they'll whack the ground and it sends like a shockwave. But if you jump at the right moment, not only do you dodge the attack, but you get a chance to parry while you're in midair. So it does this
Nice.
really cool flourish as you do it, and you all attack it at the same time, whatever you're fighting, and it just looks amazing. Everything just looks fucking brilliant when you do it. And when you pull off a really cool move, it's like, I look like a badass.
Is it quite a linear
Yeah.
game, Stu? Is it quite linear?
Oh yeah, it is linear. It is linear, but there are on your way to your objective or wherever you need to go next, and it isn't always that clear where you need to go.
Is there a map? Is there a bloody good map on the?
No, I've not. There must be a map somewhere, but I haven't come across. I was looking today. I'm thinking, is there a map? I've forgotten where that
I'm
is.
not happy about that.
There must be a map, but I haven't found it. Weirdly,
Because you know what I love, Stu?
you love a good
I
map.
love a bloody.
You love a good map.
Loves a good map.
Loves a good map. But
Hi,
this
Soul
is.
Brother. Hi.
But what you find is there's little caverns on the sides of areas where you go into, so there's always somewhere else to explore. So even though it's fairly linear,
Yeah.
There's always,
There's little
but
things.
there has been. That's probably one of my only gripes with the game. There's been a couple of times where I've had a few fights in an area, and then I'm like, which way did I come in? Did I come in there? Well, did I come in there? I don't know. I can't quite remember. So then you end up backtracking, and then you think, oh no, wait a minute, I recognise this bit of scenery, so it must have been the other way. So then you have to go all the way back to where you came from and take the other route. So that's
Pretty frustrating.
yeah, that's probably about the only minor criticism I'd have, though, because it saves constantly, so it's constantly auto-saving as you're playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't just save after you've done something, it just auto-saves every so often, just as you're running around. I think it's done by time, to be honest, rather than even... So you don't have to worry about going back 20 minutes if you get killed or something. And you're constantly leveling up. So your character's constantly getting stronger, you're constantly getting more attacks, you're constantly... And it's just really nice how everything levels up. So, like, agility in this game, it actually affects how often you get to attack. So rather than sort of actually affecting how fast you run or any of that malarkey, when you're in the turn-based combat, you might appear more times in the mix, to attack. It has a first strike thing, so as long as you hit an enemy first, you always get to go first, and all three of you.
And that's a big deal, isn't it? That's a big deal.
Oh, it can be. It can be,
no
depending on what you're
surprise.
fighting. Because these dudes are big, So as you get further into the game, you get some big dudes. I thought there was like a special chest, and there were the one on screen at the moment with the big club. There were 3 of them together.
Oh,
And one of their
dear.
special skills is they can armor up the other 2. So they were constantly armoring up. Every time you sort of broke their armor, they were recharging.
You gotta
it
get
for
rid of him.
everybody.
You gotta get rid of him.
Yeah. So it was a long fight, and then I was literally playing this just before the show because I'm like, I've got 3/4 of an hour before the show starts, and I ended up in a massive boss fight, and I'm like, because it takes time. They have loads of health, and you've got to, do all your special attacks. You've got to build up. So what's really cool when you're fighting, if you do a perfect dodge or a perfect parry, it sort of powers up. Like, obviously, the main guy, Gustav, he has a gauntlet.
Yeah.
So he has a special gauntlet, and it powers that up. So
Valkyrie ate the food.
Yeah, so when you've done so many dodges or so many, you do fucking massive attacks. And I mean, they're like crazy. And it has time buttons to enhance it, and there's so much depth to the combat, but it's also easy to understand. So if, like I said the other week, if you've been playing, I was just gonna say, SLH, have you got COVID again? Because a new COVID, by the way, strain gives
That's
you
what,
a
that's what Stu
weird
said
voice.
earlier today.
Gives you a weird voice, and I have noticed on the podcast your voice sounds.
Yeah. Everybody says
hoarse.
you cough once, and everybody's like, "You've got COVID."
No, it gives you a hoarse voice. That's one of the.
You know what else gives you a hoarse voice? A fucking sore throat.
No, I'll tell you what gives you a hoarse voice. COVID. Anyway.
Having to deal with these 2 clowns.
Christ.
So yeah, I'm loving this game. It's brilliant. The dialogue is excellent. The story's really cool. The characters are really cool, and the fucking combat's
Pat,
brilliant.
Robert Patterson, is he all right? Is he? Robert Patterson. You know,
I have no idea
he
what
was
you're
in it.
referring to.
the main character, the guy. He looks like Robert
All right, yeah,
Patterson.
good
Played
stuff.
by Robert Patterson.
All right, okay, I get you.
That's the joke. He looks like Robert Patterson. He looks like Batman.
Oh, he looks
Twilight.
like him.
That's funny. SLH said that's why I asked Croaky.
All right. Well, listen, Susan. Listen. Can we move on? Can we move? All we got,
anyway.
we played a game earlier today, and all he kept, he's got COVID. He's got COVID.
He's got COVID.
You can't have a sore throat these
COVID.
days. Look,
Got COVID.
anyway.
Yeah, let's be honest. We're in the middle of summer, and the only thing that's really going around at the moment is COVID. Just saying.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Who cares if it is COVID? Doesn't matter, does it?
Well, is what
No
it
one
is.
cares anymore.
I
So
hope your kid doesn't get it.
She's coughing. I think I caught it off her.
Fine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you maybe did. Kids are fine though. It doesn't even do anything, does it?
She's fine.
Yeah, Clair Obscura, it's brill. I
Good,
love it. I
good.
think it's the best
It's-
JRPG
hey,
I've played.
Stu, you know me. I don't like these types of games, right? But when I played that demo, I was impressed with it. I was impressed. I've never played a Final Fantasy game in my life. I've never played a JRPG. But no, this isn't a JRPG. This is a JRPG. But
It is a JRPG essentially.
I tell you
though.
what, look, if there was one I was going to play, it's going to be Clair Obscura Expedition 33.
Everything about it just works. I mean, what I was going to say before we were taking the piss out of you for having COVID was...
Which I don't have COVID, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
No.
But here's the thing, right? I think even people who, like yourself, who've never played a JRPG before,
Yeah.
will get on with this or
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
I think
they'll
it's
be fine with
the
it.
biggest put off for me with JRPGs is not so much the combat and the systems, because I like some turn-based combat, like South Park and that kind of thing. It's the presentation. It's the reason why I don't like Yakuza. It's because how long the cutscenes are, how their storytelling style is just rubs me up the wrong way.
Cutscenes in this, but they're not like huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I know, because it's made by French people.
I know. When I finished the boss fight, right, it was about 27 minutes past 8, and I'm like, shit, I've only got 3 minutes, and I'm like, oh shit, there's gonna be a cutscene. God, how long's that gonna be? Because obviously I've just beat a big boss.
No, but it's just Japanese culture.
It was a minute. It was a couple of minutes, and it were done.
Yeah, but the way Japanese culture tells stories is they drag it out, and they have just loads of dialogue.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's in Avowed as well, so you can't only blame Japanese culture.
Not the cutscenes. That's just the dialogue.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool thing about Clair Obscur as well is like they're constantly talking to each other in a party as you're exploring. A little bit like
Mass Effect.
Thingy. A Mass Effect, and also Dragon Age does that as well, doesn't it? Really well. So Dragon Age, you get a lot of sort of incidental chatter from the characters as you're exploring stuff.
Colin Allcars says, "I hope Stu doesn't get with his heart failure, doesn't get COVID. That'd be bad.
I know. Well, I'm just trying to. I have had my jab. I had my jab about 4 weeks ago. So
Susan said,
hopefully I
another
should be
major
fine.
symptom of the new variant is a sore throat. As Stu would say, just saying. Susan,
just saying. You
Does
gotta
it-
say it like 6 times.
my
Susan.
point is,
Just
if I
saying.
have COVID or not, does it really matter? Does it?
Well, you'll want to take different precautions and make sure you don't infect people.
And the way this is,
No,
I was
I take
gonna
the
say,
But the
way I
main
look at
thing
it
is Stu
this.
will be able to say, "I told you, I told you."
And to be fair, when I had the mega shits when the Queen died, it was you that said that could be COVID because the mega shits is
a new symptom.
a new symptom. And I was like, this is not COVID. And then I took the test, and before I even when Homer Simpson does that chili thing, and he just puts it in his mouth and he melts his tongue without touching it, sort of thing. It was like that. Before I even touched the cotton swab, the thing turned red. I hadn't even connected it. I haven't even done the drops. I was like, wow. Yeah, so it was very red, but.
Yeah, SLH does make a good point. Yes, it does. Some people get very sick. As it happened, I got heart failure from COVID. So.
You think you got heart failure
Susan-
from COVID?
Yeah. No, the consultant said it's highly likely that I ended up with.
Wow.
God, what's it called? Where your heart swells. And he said it was probably because of my genetic condition times COVID. He said because it was about 3 weeks after COVID when I developed it. He said it's highly likely that COVID triggered it. With it attacks your weak part of your body.
There you go.
So yeah, it can be quite serious.
I
Second
don't-
time I
I
got it,
don't-
it was absolutely fine.
I
First
don't
time, not
even
so
have a
good.
test anymore. I don't even know where to get a test.
It's chemist. Just go to a chemist. Give you one for £2. Well,
£2?
yeah,
2 quid?
£2. Well, it depends whether you want to give it everyone at work, I guess, 'cause it's highly contagious.
Yes.
As they say.
Or you could just wear a mask whenever you're sick. That's just a smart thing for us to
Yeah,
do.
and look
Listen,
what SLH, got
SLH
from
says-
COVID.
I'm an American.
Myalgic encephalomyelitis. Ugh,
Yeah,
that
you got
sucks.
Jeez.
Which is again.
So anyway,
serious.
everybody,
It
if
causes
you're
some
sick, stay home.
serious
If you can't
shit.
stay home, wear a mask. Serious, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that should just be the new normal. I wish that were the new normal. I got students coming to my classroom, not covering their mouth. I'm like, what are you doing? The hand sanitizer's right there. I'm okay. Put it. Here's a mask if you'd like it. I can't make them wear it, but like, fucking put it on, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean anything, judgment on you. It's just doing something nice. It's like when you cover your mouth when you sneeze. That should just be the next thing.
I have
All right,
People
Claire
don't know.
Obscure.
People
Anything
don't.
else about
I have
Claire
driven to
Obscure?
both your houses, and it was a
Great.
long drive to yours, Duke, and I've licked your microphones.
Bring it.
I've licked them.
I got cops going by my house every day, making sure no one's trying nothing. I'll give you my coordinates.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, so Claire Obscure. Great. That's that.
it's a great game.
Okay, so that's back to
Great.
me, is it?
It is.
I played a town management game called Town to City.
Ooh.
with the number 2 in the middle there. Oh no, maybe it doesn't have the number 2. I don't know. Anyway, this is it's focused on trying to build your town. I mean, you know, these games are all much of a muchness. The difference with this game is that it's kind of voxel style, so that the graphics are pretty low res in individual pixels, but then because the characters are pretty basic, it's very pretty when you look at it from a distance, if that makes sense. So if you were to zoom down and look at individual, you know, bits of the game, it wouldn't be very impressive. But when you look at it from a distance, it's nice. It's nice looking. You start off with a very
Sorry, Duke. Do you want to know what this effect is called?
What is this effect called?
It's an effect called tilt shift.
Tilt shift, yeah.
So you can buy tilt shift lenses. Sean Anderson had a tilt shift lens when I saw him.
There's some very cool art being made with tilt shift.
But
stuff.
if you basically the idea of tilt shift, if you want to botch it, right, film something from high up, like a road or a junction, right? Film it in as high a resolution as you can, and then plonk it into Premiere or After Effects. Blur the top, blur the bottom, and leave the middle in focus, and it creates the illusion that you're looking at miniatures, so it makes everything look small. Because when you film something small, it has a small shallow more focus.
Sure.
That sort of area.
So one of the things in this game is that you draw the roads wherever you want, and you're literally using like a paintbrush to sort of draw the roads.
It's kind of
and then you plop down
City Skylines. City
Skylines, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put down buildings. You start with houses. People show up every once in a while. You have to assign them to a house, and then you put down a warehouse so they can get supplies. And then there's a fish shop and a cheese shop. It feels like a very French game, so there's no surprise that you got cheese shops and
the French are getting a lot of coverage this episode. Aren't they?
I don't know if it actually is a French game, but it certainly feels French. Yeah.
Is the point just to make a town, Duke? Is not just?
It's to make a town, to keep growing it. There's certain milestones. At one point, this woman comes up and says, "Hey, Mr. Mayor, I really want a new dress, but there's no dress shops in this town." And so you have to, get to a point where you can unlock. And there's like a research tree, so you have to unlock the dress shop in the research tree, and then you have to unlock. She's like, "I want to buy a blue dress," so you have to unlock different colors of clothing for the, dress shop. And then eventually you have a blue dress that she can buy.
They're putting street lamps.
She was very happy.
They're putting street lamps there.
Yep, street lamps. A lot of decorating, and the people's happiness has to do with how well their area is decorated. So you want to put down
put it well
benches
lit and everything.
And, flowers. Yeah, exactly. So it's a nice combination of aesthetics and management of people's attitudes and whatnot.
It's kind of like Manor Lords-ish as well. Like Manor Lords kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Very, very stripped down version of Manor Lords in that sense.
It looks cute though. I like the cute.
It is cute. Yeah, it's cute. It works well. I played it more than I thought I would. It was a Next Fest demo, and I thought, okay, I'll play this for 20 minutes. And I think I played it for about an hour because I was kind of having fun with unlocking new stuff and trying to make people. The one thing that's kind of annoying is once you put a road down, if I think they just showed it on the stream, it was too close to the edge of the city to put a house in. I don't think you can take it up and put the road back down. You know what I mean? Undo the road. Yeah. So it's kind of stuck where it is. But I mean, whatever. That's a pretty minor thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is you got to kind of watch where you're putting stuff so you don't I made a big ring around the town basically, and then once I put houses all around that ring. So when I needed to expand it some more, I should have left one of those houses out so that I could extend a road off of the ring. But whatever. I just built a new road somewhere else. It wasn't a huge deal, but I do wish you could maybe you can demolish a house or something, but I wanted some.
It sounds
more
like a
ability
pretty obvious thing that they.
And like I said, I didn't really spend enough time with it to say you can't do it, but
what
I didn't see an
made
easy
you?
way to do
Is it just a demo? Is that what made you stop?
It was just a demo, yeah. Yep, just a demo. And there was more to it than when I got done. I just reached a point where I was like, I think they were like, okay, now we want different kinds of cheeses or whatever it was, and I was like, all right, I think I'm good. I don't need to keep going with this. But if I saw it on sale for $5, I might not throw it out of bed for eating crackers.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Town to city, it's cute. It's charming. It's definitely got some
it does
nice
look cute,
aesthetics.
and it looks a bit more simplified than some of these town building. Community games.
Yep.
But maybe it gets.
But
really
again, speaking
complicated
of
once
that
you've got it
social
so
management
big.
thing, Yeah, speaking of the social management thing, like, you got to watch your townsfolk and their happiness levels, and you can look at each individual one, and it'll be, my home area is not decorated enough, my work area is not decorated enough.
I want a pub.
And so,
I need
Yeah,
a church
exactly.
so I can.
Yeah, that was
Right.
Manor
religion.
Lords. That was Manor Lords.
Yes.
No, I'm
well,
wondering
that's
if
also
this
in
is
a
the
lot
same.
of these games. So,
Yeah. So they're all quite similar, aren't they, in that respect? Oh yeah. Maybe they need a cinema. What about cinema? There's never one of those in these games, is there?
Well,
Bowling
if you go
alley.
to the bakery, they got a lot of cinnamon.
Yeah. Bowling alley or a golf course. What about if you build them a golf course?
Get
Then
it?
all the,
Cinnamon?
Yeah, I get it. All the middle class dudes in the city will be happy.
This isn't
Sealy,
a middle class town. This is a working class town.
Sealy-
Cheese shop.
Sealy in the chat says, "Have we ever played the finals?"
I have played the finals.
You,
It's
yeah,
okay.
You
It's
liked
too
it?
tense and competitive for
Yeah,
me.
it's
Yeah,
too
I
much.
mean, it's good. It's well done. It's free. It's worth the money.
Yeah, I've never played it.
These two don't
but
play
I've-
competitive
I don't
shooters
play
anymore.
competitive.
I love them, but
games.
they're just not my. They don't suit my lifestyle because I need to. I need
You
to
get
step.
good.
I need to step away from
Hey.
a game instantly because
Yeah,
you know,
but you can't do
Time
that
for
with
that.
the altars.
well, the worst case I have to go back a day. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah, I guess
or I
that's-
can press the Xbox button, close the Xbox, and it'll quick
Yeah, that's
resume.
true.
Yeah, it's fine with
So-
Xbox.
Yeah.
Fine with
Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah. So,
Once we
but
go
if I
on-
Well,
play a
mean,
multiplayer game, then
if you were to play a round of team deathmatch in Call of Duty, the worst that happens is you get kicked out for
Yeah.
inactivity.
true, that's true. But I suppose,
Stop making excuses for not playing Call of Duty.
yeah, I get my competitive itch with snooker in real life.
Yeah,
so
well, there's
I
that,
suppose
yeah.
I don't really care.
You get lumped
But-
in with the sweats.
So I don't
Don't do it.
play online competitive games. Right, the next game I'm going to talk about is an online competitive game.
Ah,
A
okay.
rematch.
Rematch.
A rematch. Yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely is an online competitive.
So I've been
game.
playing a little bit more of it. I'm sort of.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get there by now, but I haven't played it as much as I'd like. I've got a cheeky like time here. I've got cheeky time there. There is an Xbox in our office, but they usually play FIFA on it at lunchtime, so you
FIFA.
can. You could, like
Ah.
Matt and I
Yeah,
usually
FIFA.
play FIFA on it. I never go on it ever, and I was like, oh, I'll
Because
try
you don't play FIFA.
because I'll try a rematch. So I got a rematch and played that a little bit, but yeah, I'm still not. I want to get to the ranked ones, Duke. You know, you got to be level
Yeah.
5. So that's right. I'm level 4. I'm very close. I'm probably about 2-3
Okay.
games away from it. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's got some depth. And what I like about it with Rocket League, obviously, if you let's just assume that I'm talking about people at our level, Duke, not
Yeah.
mental people, right?
Sure.
Like when you've got the ball, you're sort of like hoping that you hit it to the other player, or you're hoping that you hit.
Yeah.
Whereas with this,
Yeah.
I mean, you are
Mm.
kicking it in a direction. Do you know what I mean? So you can
Sure.
play to pass it to that person, pass it to that person.
Right. You have more control over the
You have
ball
more
when you
control,
it.
and the goal does
Yeah.
depend on whether you aim it correctly. Whereas in Rocket League, is obviously it does depend if you aim it, but you are just sort of hitting the ball in a place, and
Yeah,
you're like,
right.
I
You're
think
mostly
that's-
trying to just pummel the other team until the ball gets near
Yeah,
their goal.
you just-
and hope someone-
you're just throwing yourself at the ball and going.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels like there's a little bit more
It would be cool
skill.
if the people watching could get a sense of how it works.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? But like, there's
Would be-
5
would be
things to
cool,
do at
that.
once. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, well, right.
And you need to be able to jump out the second.
Yeah. So
No, I know what you mean.
I
It is
think-
cool to have a game, with that kind of.
And the
personal
problem is
impact.
now is that people are starting to get good at it. So that's an issue. That and they're really starting to
Well, of course
utilize.
they are.
They're really starting to utilize the indoor football aspect of it. You know, the fact that you can bounce the ball off the wall and stuff. And the other good way to score a goal.
Interesting.
The other good way to score a goal. Let me cough, and it's not COVID.
Yeah, it's
Um,
totally COVID.
The other way, a good way to score a goal is if you go for the goal and shoot, even if you hit the wall next to the goal or above the goal, and it bounces to another player, they're more likely to score because the goalkeeper has already dived for it. So yeah, I like rematch. I'm enjoying it. I think you two are wrong. You
I didn't say no.
you
look,
thumbs
no,
downed
no,
it. You downed it.
I didn't. Yeah, but because it wasn't for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see.
Well, you can
people
take that
like
thumb
this.
that is down,
and get-
shove it down and up your arse.
It's not for you because it takes skill.
It's
Yeah.
not for me because it's competitive multiplayer
No.
online. It's not for me
Chinny,
generally.
where are the weird science fiction elements where
Yeah.
you read
Stuart,
17 things?
Stu would only like this if they all talked about the game before, and in the tunnel, and they're all sort of
Maybe.
like pixelated, and they're just going, "Man, I hope my girlfriend
Maybe.
texts me." And, yeah,
Is there any gold?
Anyway,
does it
rematch.
gold blow
Shinny's
up or
enjoying
anything
it.
like that, like Rocket League, or is it
Is any
just
what?
go in there? Is it does the gold blow up or anything? When
No,
you
they do
hit it?
celebrations. You get a celebration, so I'm
Oh,
imagining that
okay.
they, at some point, will.
I mean, the wall lights up and there's the score above the goal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is that.
It does.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
feel
does do
as
that.
rewarding.
I
as
imagine.
Rocket
I
League, but
imagine like they'll, the money will be like, oh, you can do this celebration where you can, do whatever, and yeah. So,
Yeah, I guess it couldn't do the gold blowing up because that would be too much like Rocket League. then,
Whatever.
wouldn't it?
No, they don't own
No,
the
this is-
goal blowing up.
this is Rocket League.
But they
shit.
don't want
This-
to
They have
Oh yeah,
definitely
it's
ripped
Rocket
it off.
League with actual players.
They have definitely ripped it off. But yeah, I've got a bit better at the goalkeeper as well. There's a bit of skill in that as well. So enjoying it.
Yeah.
Rematch.
Groovy.
They're French
Alright,
as well.
Is it time?
I think they're French as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
zut
think it's
alors.
that.
Are they
No,
French?
Yeah, they are.
Oh
I
my
think so.
god, there's so much French.
Vive la
Going on.
France!
Les vive la France.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
And
Yeah,
now-
I think it's time. I think it's
Let's go.
time.
Like anybody fucking gives a shit. Climb a game, bitch.
What does that mean?
Results, you stupid chief!
Dad, sit down.
Oh, so, yeah, it's play my game, bitch.
This is the part of the show where we all play the same game,
We
and
all-
this week it
and-
was.
Well, we all played, can we just say, for a long time, we all played it together at the same
That's
time.
right. We played Peak because you gotta play this together. It is really
Peak.
not a single player game.
Yeah, and
What
and
kind of game is this?
what an
Kenny,
effort. What
you said we had to play this.
What an
you tell
effort.
us why we had to buy it.
what an effort
it's
it was
fine.
to get us all on this at the same time.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
because Chinny was like, I may have an hour on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
I might be able to squeeze you
No,
in.
well, he said, no. What he said was midday, and Duke
Right.
took midday as 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which was a bit weird.
It's because 3 o'clock in your afternoon, 3 o'clock is 9 a.m. my time.
Yeah, well, midday is 12 o'clock in most people's
And what time is
countries.
that my time?
I don't know, but you say midday is like 3 o'clock. I'm like, does
No,
it really
I'm
think
saying
midday's
here's a
3 o'clock?
time that might work for me. If I'm thinking noon,
okay.
I'm thinking that's 6 hours earlier. That's 6
Okay.
a.m. I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. to play with you. You're
right.
lucky I got up at 7.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a game.
Okay.
But it's a
Okay.
it's a first person game, and it's kind of like a Gang Beasts ish, but you're first
It
person.
looks that
Aesthetic.
way. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's kind of
aesthetically.
bulbous people, different
Yeah.
fun colors.
Sort of comedy sort of game, but the idea
The
is that you-
graphics look very simple, but they're actually pretty impressive.
you
Yeah,
climb.
I love that the mouths move as you talk.
Yeah, the mouse
which
move.
is
So
kinda cool.
you play it co-op, and there's up to 4 players, and you climb a mountain. Is the simple
it's-
task
that's
of
pretty
climbing
much
a
it.
mountain. And
Well,
where,
Just a minute. You've missed some of the very deep story.
Come on,
that's
Chinny.
involved.
Jesus
yeah.
fucking
Climbing a
Christ.
let me go into the deep
Because
story. So you start
The
off in
deep
an
story is-
airport,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
you go on a
airport.
And then your
plane,
plane crashes.
Going on holiday.
crash.
You don't see the plane crash. You just wake up and the plane has
Yeah.
crashed.
So there's a few things about it that you I think I forgot who it was. It says, oh, are we going to chat on Discord or Zoom? And I said, look,
Yeah.
we have to chat in the game because one of the big features
It's
of the
the
game
game.
is the proximity chat. So when you go into a cave area, it starts to sound like a cave. If you drop, I can just about hear, but sometimes you can lose each other very easily in this game. So the proximity chat is like a big feature of the game. And and each day the mountain resets, so it's procedurally generated, and then the next day and it's the same mountain for everyone. So the first time we did it, we failed and we died. But the second
Yeah,
time,
we went completely.
but the
wrong
second time we sort of went the right way. We sort of knew that we had to go around to the right and do it again. And
We conquered one of the biomes. Apparently there's 4 each day, maybe.
oh yeah, so we got to where we thought might have been the end, and we were like, we've done it. We're gaming veterans. We're the veteran gamers. And then it was
got to
like,
the
oh yeah,
smoke.
this is like, yeah, one biome. Now you got to do a
Now
jungle.
here's the
one.
next part. It's like
Yeah.
on The Simpsons.
then-
It
and
just
they
keeps
also-
going.
Yeah.
It also gave you Pandora's lunchbox when you got to the end.
That's
Yeah, there's
true.
lots of items and suitcases that you can pick along the way,
Yeah.
which sometimes have food in it, rope, like a gun rope thing, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it's like mushrooms that like you would like, I might eat it, and then you ate it, and then you got poisoned or shit yourself or
I
something.
got
like that.
poisoned by
And the-
some berry that refilled all my health and then
Yeah.
all stamina and then poisoned me.
Yeah.
straight after.
And the stamina, the stamina is obviously being used up when you're climbing. But the other interesting thing is that when you're getting hungry, as you're constantly doing throughout the game, it'll eat up your stamina bar, which is green, will turn yellow because of hunger. And then if you get poisoned, it eats up some more of your stamina. So the more tired, the more you're carrying, the more hungry you are, the less stamina you have. So it's a matter of constantly juggling all of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's fog rising, so when it keeps coming up from underneath, so you can't see a thing when you're in the fog.
So we
Now,
I think our
according
second
to-
run we did well, didn't we? Our second run
We did very well.
Yeah, we did all right.
According to PCGamesN.com, many items have a use in Peak. The Cursed Skull, for instance, can be a game changer if used correctly. The Bugle, however, doesn't seem to be useful at all, unless you want to annoy your friends, which we do.
Yeah,
now, I
somebody
don't have the
did.
sound of the Bugle here, but I have this other horn sound that we'll use as an example of how I employed this very helpful device. While we were playing, I found the Bugle, and it does like random notes. You don't get to choose what sound you're playing, but it'll just be like.
Yeah, we know what it was like.
So
yeah,
the
listeners don't.
I've heard that this is fantastic podcasting. So the I heard that the Bugle is useful when you lose each other and you can play it and find each other. But I remember, like, you've got to, for listeners who haven't played this game, you've got to make sure that you realise that everything you carry is really crucial, because you the more weight you carry, the less stamina you have. The less stamina you have, the less you can climb. Right. And I remember seeing you get a few things in the plane. I was like, right, we don't need the Bugle. And I was like, of course Duke is going to carry that everywhere and play it.
Carry the Bugle everywhere.
He's never going to stop.
It kept the spirits up as we were climbing. It gave us a fun sonic environment.
It's a little bit more charming than this awful air horn that he's playing now, but it was still quite annoying. I did the
Do
gameplay.
not give these guys things that make sounds.
I did record the gameplay, so this is our gameplay on the screen.
Oh, nice! You're going to show it to the Patreon.
This is
we should make it available to the Patreons.
I could make it available to the patrons. None of them will watch it, but I could.
Well,
yeah.
It would be a first that we actually gave them something.
So I'm assuming this is the second go we have.
This is the second go, yeah.
The crappy go.
Yeah. So maybe one person who is our Patreon, I think Sealy is a Patreon. So you let me know if you want me to edit this or do you want it raw as is, and then I'll upload it to the Patreon first. I'll give it a week or something, and then I'll upload it to our.
There you go.
Oop poob.
And you can hear me playing the Bugle probably because Jim heard it.
This is us discovering what the anti-rope gun was. Remember that?
Yeah. We got it. It was like,
this is at the beginning. This is at the end of our first run.
We had the rope gun.
The purple one, by the way.
We had the rope gun, and we're like, oh, well, you know what a rope gun is, and we used it once, and then we had an anti-rope gun. It was like, what the fuck is this? And it's a gun that sends the rope upwards, so you can climb up it. Yeah, which would have been very useful where we was, but we
not where you put it.
Yeah,
completely pointless where you
Jesus
put it.
Christ.
Well, it was a learning experience, as you said.
It was a learning curve.
In that sense, it is kind of roguelike in that, you do a run, okay, going to the left didn't work, let's go to the right this time, okay, let's do this, and you learn how to better manage your stuff. You learn what not to eat, because there are green berries that made you sick, I think. I hope it was green berries, because there were other red berries that I ate that helped me out.
The other good thing is, if you fail on a run, you can get through the first bit of the next run quite quickly, because you know where you're
You know where you gotta go, yeah.
Right.
You know where you gotta go.
And I sort of got a sense that, this is how I felt, right? I got a sense that Duke, when we started playing this game, was like, I don't know about this game. But by the end of it, you said, Duke, you quite enjoyed this, surprisingly.
I did quite enjoy it, and you're right. I started out with because I felt like it was very cutesy. I didn't really get the hang of the climbing right away, because it doesn't say here's how you climb. You were kind of walking me through it, but whatever. The point is, I was ready for it to be kind of like Gang Beasts, or one of these games where you can Surgeon Simulator, where it's very hard to control yourself.
Yeah, but it's not.
That's the fun. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
And so the fact that it was, I was ready to be like, I like games where the controls are precise. The controls are precise in here.
Yeah.
And they're, the elements mix together very well. And I actually had a good time with it, because the other thing is you can help each other out in ways that go beyond just sticking near each other.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead did something brilliant by making it a requirement for you to work with your teammates, and so does this game, and I think that's great.
So this moment that we're on the screen here is like, we really worked well together.
Yeah,
because you can pull each other up, right, and help each other. So we had a kind of like a tether system where like whoever was in front would pull the person up from behind, and then do the other one for the other person, and we had a good little system going. We would, I suppose.
Okay, I'll go get that suitcase
Yeah.
and see what's in it, and then you go over here.
I guess it helps that us three sort of know each other very well, so we know.
Yeah, agreed.
Like Stu was obviously sort of going, I don't know. The Duke was trying to be like very sensible at things, and I just jumped on whatever fucking rock I wanted,
And I was providing a lovely sonic environment.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can lunge at the end, even if you're running out of stamina.
Yeah, you can give it
last
go.
ditch effort.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
You know,
really nice. I like that.
Yeah, and you can lunge for a grab.
Yeah.
So you can.
So
and
do you know? I don't think you can play with randos in this game, can you?
I
No.
don't think so.
You
no.
can't join game.
See, that's a
can you?
shame
Only
because I would
host.
like to try this with some random folks.
Yeah, I think it has to be, and I really want to play this game again, and it'd be nice to play it again.
I
but
do.
Yeah, I think.
What was kind of
Yeah, for
cool
some-
though? Well, after you'd left, Duke died, and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
turned into a ghost and was
Yes.
following me around.
That's the other thing as well, and you can talk to each other as a ghost, so the ghost
so
can
we're still
help.
chatting.
The ghost can help you get the ghost can have a look and go, well, you could jump on this ledge, you can do this,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
even when you don't.
even though,
Easy for you to say you're a ghost.
Yeah, even though like everyone was gone, you gone, and obviously and Duke died. I was on my own,
Yeah.
and then his ghost with her chatting with still with his silly glasses on. It's
And
just
what you
kinda
didn't know
cool.
is you were dead the whole time.
I know, maybe. But it was cool. And
Mm-hmm.
I reckon we could have made some progress on that second bit had we all still been there.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we didn't.
like I said, we conquered the one biome. We were making decent progress on the second one because they throw new things at it. It's not just a new biome. The new biome that we entered was the jungle one, and there were vines that you could climb,
Yeah,
and
there were
new
spiky
plants that
things.
were exactly. You had to be careful of not getting poisoned or whatever. So I think it works really well, as Chinny mentioned when we were playing. I don't know if you said it here yet, but there's sand on areas that you can walk on.
Yeah.
So when you're climbing up the side of the rock, you got to make sure you just get to the sand part.
Yeah, that's really important
and
actually.
it's very
because
visually, it's very important.
It's because you got the rock is great and the sand is obviously I don't know fucking yellow
Beige.
orange, and it gives you the great indication of I have to make it to that pixel basically. I have to make it there, and it's a really good cue, and it works.
and it's
really well.
reliable. It doesn't play with you and like you think you're gonna get there, but you can't. You do.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes like we're dealing with like a tiny little patch at that, and you're like, oh, can I even stand on that? And then you're like, yeah, you can, but you've got to be careful. And you can push each other off, which we found out 'cause I accidentally pushed you off the edge.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's great. The only downfall for me is that it's a co-op game, and I get very little chance to play video games at the same time as other people because of how crazy everything is at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
but in 5 years when you're playing this with Rosa, that's gonna be.
Oh, you know
magic.
what? Oh, I'd love that. I'd love it. But yeah, it's a long time. But no, I think I want to play this again and
Make a list of these games, man, because you forget about it.
Yeah, and I think I get the impression as well. Sorry to talk about my child, but I get the impression that because Stu, you know this, right? With Millie and stuff, you start to realise you go, I think she would like this. I think she would like this, and anything tech related, like screens, phones, she loves. She upset. Like I remember, I showed her Mario 64 when we was on holiday, and she would not stop talking about it. Mario. So I think when she's old enough, I will show her Mario and Mario Kart and stuff. And I think I will. Like I've got to be careful because I know she's going to be into it. So I'm really apprehensive about introducing her to video games because she's going to be all in on it. Yeah, but there you are.
I'm gonna leave you in the dust. Oh, come on, Dad, you can't keep up with me.
Yeah. No, I don't. Like I think if she's 4 or 5, and I'm slowly dripping in like a bit of Mario Kart here and there and stuff. But I can quickly see how this could be like bad for her. Do you know what I mean?
Escalate.
Yeah. So I've got to really be careful. So yes, but yeah, who knows? In about 5 years' time, she'll probably would have been the 4th person on this. She'll be like, I'll play with you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's up to 4
So
players.
yeah, thumbs up, peak,
Watch them
good
jellyfish
stuff.
as well, by the way. Ooh.
Oh yeah,
That's right,
jellyfish.
you
Yeah,
can
you
slip on
can
'em.
slip on them. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, it's a thumbs up, isn't it? Or 3 thumbs up. I'd
Yeah,
say.
massive
Peak
thumbs up.
gaming. Ah!
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah,
That joke's
really,
never
I
been made
loved it.
before. Yeah, 3
I
thumbs
thought
up on
it
Peak.
was great.
Fantastic.
Okay, we have got a couple of emails and we have got a speak pipe.
Oh,
tonight.
nice.
Do not give these guys things that make sounds. No.
that
No
rules.
props that make noises. They cannot stop using them.
That's right.
Okay, so we have got first email is from Callum, who emailed in last week, and he says,
Yay.
we did correct this, by the way, we did correct this during the show, but he says 1994 doesn't make me 21. So
We don't know math.
We corrected
Yeah,
it, and I
yeah,
said
yeah.
it's good job
71?
Sheedy isn't a maths teacher.
I know, yeah.
So he says, hello, gents, just clearing it up. I am 31 soon.
78. Okay.
With a job and 2 kids.
Fair enough.
Spare time is not in abundance.
No, that's
Haha.
You think you're a big man because you have kids?
We all, you know,
You
got
big
stuff
man.
going on. Yeah, no, sorry, that was my part. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. By the way, when did
don't even
Portal
know this
2
guy.
come out? Just out of interest. 'cause
Portal
you're
2,
the master-
16, 21.
2011.
See, 2011.
November,
You know,
I think.
that's-
Maybe November.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
was
so
it
it's still
November?
quite
I
a long
don't know.
time ago. It's probably, you know, so it's a while, isn't it?
It's a while.
2011. 14 years.
Yes.
14
Yes.
years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I have heard that Mass Effect games are the gold standard for storylines. I must confess, I haven't played
much.
them.
You should.
Play them.
Duke plays
Jake
the
Harder,
shame
boy.
bell.
Duke plays the shame bell. I don't think
Did
you've
he
got a
play the
shame bell.
Shame
have you?
bell. What's shame bell?
It's
Ah,
from
Who's this?
it's from Game of Thrones. You know when she walks down the
Oh,
street.
Shame.
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 Ding.
Here, I'll play this one
Ding.
instead.
Ding.
I got humped by Jason for nothing.
Yeah.
You could
That's
have done
shameful.
for whom the bell tolls for. We haven't
Yeah.
had that for a
Oh
while.
yeah, I could. Here, I got it.
That's
Just intentionally
that's
doing
missed.
other
That's
sounds.
missed.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do that all the time. Anyway, he says.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I have played a few of the games you mentioned last week, but there are some I haven't. So they'll be added to a list somewhere that I'll try
Yeah.
and play them.
Don't try.
I will drop Baldur's Gate 3 in there, as I've very
Yeah.
much enjoyed that. Yeah, I've heard good things.
That's what
I've heard
people
good
say.
things.
I'm
I
surprised
don't
I
know,
haven't played
it's-
it yet. But it's still not cheap. This
I
summer
was just
sale,
gonna
and it's
say,
like
it's
what,
too
10% off?
expensive. Yeah,
It
it's
is
too
expensive.
man.
Where's my
Uh,
wish list? I'll find out what the price is right now.
Side note, I am in Exeter in Devon also. I can't
Okay.
eat scones as I'm gluten free, but it is
Okay.
cream on first is the Devon way and the correct way. See, Cornwall, apparently it's jam on first, Devon cream on first. Who knows?
The craziest thing about my wish list on Steam is that I'll look at games and be like, when did I put this? What is this? I don't even know what this is on my wish list.
Yeah,
Where is this?
the thing that I want to say about Devon is, ooh, you think you're so special because you've got a place with the only place in the world that has an exclamation mark. So
there you go.
Westwood Ho is one of the only.
Oh,
I think it's one of the only
That's an-
places that has an exclamation mark on the
As
end of
part
it.
of its name.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, $48. That's
So-
20% off. What are y'all doing?
So can
It's
I
been
just
out
check?
for a long time.
Can I just check? Do you have to pronounce it Westwood Ho?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Is that-
Westwood Ho.
is that-
Yeah.
Westwood Ho!
Been out for
that
2
what you did?
years and it's only 20% off. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me.
Because people like it, Duke.
Never mind that. I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah, we're
Buy it. You've
cheapskates.
got
We're-
loads
Because I
of
bought
money.
Soul Mask and Nightingale within 24 hours of each other and then haven't really played them since. That doesn't mean anything.
All the marijuana that you're growing on that farm, you can afford it.
Dude, Japes 2 isn't 1.0 yet? That's interesting.
Not really. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So thank you for that, Callum. Well, yeah, I don't know about the scone thing. I like jam on first, personally.
Are there no gluten-free scones?
There probably are, but they probably don't taste very good. That's the trouble with gluten-free stuff.
I think cream
Yeah.
on first because cream holds the jam better.
Yeah, but then the jam, I don't know. It seems a bit weird because you can't spread the jam, can you? You've just got to blob it on the top. I don't know.
You know what I do, right?
Boring.
Well,
I
what
cut
do you-
I cut it in
what
half.
do you
I cut it in half, Stu.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
cut it
cutting
off. I put cream on one. I put jam on the
Yeah.
other, and I just mush them together.
There you go.
And
There
that
you
is
go.
how.
Straight to your face. What you're saying right now is very boring.
And that
Well,
is
the thing
how
is-
Cornwall and Devon can just relax.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't eat a scone when it's together, can you? Because the trouble with a
I
scone
tried, people.
together, as soon as you bite down, the fucking cream squirts out everywhere.
Well, yeah, but that's because of the ratio that you're putting it on. You're putting it on too close to the edge. You got to put it in the middle. You know it's going to
Yeah,
squeeze
but
out.
even then,
That's a
it's,
fucking
as soon as
amateur
you bite
move,
down,
dude.
it's got to squish it together. innit?
Fucking
It's gotta
amateur
switch out,
move. You know what I mean?
I'm bored now.
I'm sorry, bloody
You should be.
bloody Duke over there talking about
Duke.
bloody
fucking scum police.
New World or whatever the fuck.
Englishman,
Yeah,
you're
fucking-
all so
Yeah, angry kids in fucking Rocket League
Bloody-
talker about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty. Come on,
Nicki Minaj's big butt in Beavis
Yeah.
and Butthead.
right?
I didn't bring up Nicki Minaj's butt.
You're
That was
always
y'all.
talking about
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj in a giant backside.
That was cool.
Anywho,
All
All right. Anything else in that email, or is it
No,
on to the
that's
next
it.
email?
That's it. So
Okay,
thank you,
next email.
Callum.
Let me guess. Jason
We know
Gallagher.
you're 31. It is from Jason Gallagher.
Hey, how did I know? I hope he's okay, by the way. I sent him an email. There was flooding in Texas. That ain't no joke.
I know, that was terrible. 51 people have died, haven't they? It's awful.
And part of the reason it got so bad is because they've been defunding the warning systems that can help people stay alert. So this is why government matters, people. This is why we shouldn't take a chainsaw to the federal government. Anyway, go on.
He says, public service announcement, sorry in advance.
Okay.
Hey, veteran gamers, just call me Robocop or Smokey the Bear. Coming of age in the
Thank you for your
70s, 80s,
cooperation.
and 90s in Texas was a bit different than today. But the weather's mostly the same. We had video games, but they honestly were in the background, though that nostalgia is strong. We spent
Yeah.
a lot of time outdoors. Flash floods, tornadoes, and the hail have always been around. When we heard flash flood, we would run to the creek in our inner tubes and ride the rapids.
Oh
One
my
time,
goodness. That's
though,
not a smart thing to do when you get a flash flood warning.
it probably isn't. One time, though, the waves took us over a street, and my brother was sucked into a drainage pipe.
Oh
Fucking
my
hell.
God. That sounds horrifying.
A friend
I'm
pulled him
glad he
out
was
and had to-
okay.
and had to give him mouth to mouth to save his life.
Jesus. Wow,
Jesus
that is
Christ.
horrifying.
Traumatized me. On a separate occasion, we
yeah.
camped on the Brazos River. Our tent flooded, so we slept in a car. Beforehand, we had never heard of a warning or no sirens either. We were just teenagers being spontaneous. But that 3 a.m. flood could have got me. Common sense now, but as a
Yes.
kid, I had no idea. But that's what kids do. We do shit, don't we?
Well,
We
yeah,
do
that's why you
stupid
gotta
shit.
keep kids safe and keep,
I mean, we
warning systems
we
available
had
for kids.
we had a steel erection company site near us. You know, giant
What kind of steel company? Steel what?
Steel erections, giant steel erections. But they had all giant buildings, and we spent half our lives trying to figure out how to climb up on top of them and run around on the roof. You know, that's kind of what you did, 20, 30 feet up. Because that's
Sure.
what you did.
Just
You
because there
worked
were
your
no
way up.
video games. You just had to
No.
climb around on erections.
You know, did stupid stuff, climbed up really tall trees and then jumped
How
out.
about
and
bloody
see if we could
scrotums
land.
and steel erections? Is that, can we call that
Yeah.
the show?
Well, I'd put a title, which is
How
just,
about
I'll
it's
tell you what,
totally COVID erections?
it's totally.
I just want
COVID,
erections in
that's
there
what-
somewhere.
It's totally COVID. That's what I've put. Anyway, so yeah, we all did stupid stuff. But I don't know whether Duke ever did anything stupid. Did you ever do stupid as a kid?
Not really. I was eager to not be in pain. So if something was risky, I'd be like, no, I'm cool. But I do remember, speaking of inner tubes, one time there was this ditch that flowed through our neighbor's yard, and it flooded, and we got the inner tubes. And, we had this whitewater rapids in our backyard. I went there one time after I grew up. It was a stinking ditch, like 2 feet if you're lucky. I was so in love with this, river that had formed. It wasn't a river. It was just a stupid ditch. But, when you're a kid, it feels different. So
Yeah. What about you, Chinny? What's the stupidest thing you did as a kid, or a teenager, whatever? Has Chinny died?
I think he muted himself
Oh, yeah, I
because he
muted him,
didn't want
yeah.
to spread COVID.
Nothing too,
Yeah, you don't want to
nothing,
give us COVID.
nothing too much. I suppose we used to climb those, those sort of pipes that go over canals,
Yeah.
and I don't know what they are, but they have these spikes to stop kids from doing that. But we just saw those guards, those gates to stop you do it as like a challenge. We was like, well,
Yeah.
let's just get around them. And we used to walk
Probably
across
want to
them.
impale
and-
ourselves on these.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't fall in. I think my mate fell in, but we didn't fall in very often. It was quite surprising actually. I suppose canals
I
aren't
was,
that dangerous if you know how to swim, are they? But you know.
well, this is it. But like one of the guys I work with, Danny, he was telling me the other day that, and I can't remember whether it was a train track or whether it was just a bridge, but they used to hang down and see how long they could hang under the bridge for. And I'm like, you did what? And
What
he's
could
like,
go
"Oh,
wrong?"
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? We used to hang under this. It was over a river. So he's like, oh, we're over a river, so we fell it. We're fine. We're in the. I'm like, yeah, but you know, when you fall a long way into water, it's still really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're exhausted because you can't hold on anymore, maybe you won't be able to
Yeah.
swim once you land in
And
the
it's like,
water.
oh yeah, we used to dare each other, see how long we
it's
could
gonna be
hang
fun
there
on the
for.
bun.
The thing that I did that was quite dangerous, but not because it was a dangerous thing, but I could have got in a lot of trouble, was garden hopping. We used to do that a lot.
Oh yeah, we did that. We
And-
used to do
but
that,
like,
yeah.
but like, you know, you're in people's gardens, man. It's like
Yeah.
trespassing. It's really bad. And I remember the one story I got about garden hopping, right, was where, that you know the well, actually I got two. You know the scene in Shaun of the Dead where Simon Pegg goes to jump over that panel fence and then it crushes, it falls. Do you remember that, right?
Yeah.
That happened to Marsh, like in real life. He went to, like, I'm going to jump over this fence, and it just folded like down,
Collapsed.
right? And we just ran. And then the other thing is, right, we went into this garden and they came out, right? The garden, they came out. The people that lived there, how
You
dare they?
fucking kids, get
No,
off our
they
fucking
didn't see us, and we was hiding behind this wall. And the dog came
Oh.
out, right? And
Oh,
I was
no.
like, oh
Sniffing
god.
around.
Anyway, they sort of went back in, and we ran as quickly as we could, and we got we got like to my old neighbour's house. So we're close to my house. We got to my old neighbour's house. Marshy jumped in front of me, and I went to jump following him, and as he landed, all I heard was, "Ow, fucking hell!" And I remember in the air thinking, "This is not gonna end."
I don't want to land
Well.
where that happened.
whatever that was when he landed, he's not gonna go well. He landed on a wheelbarrow, right?
Oh no!
And it was a steel wheel, like one of those old steel wheelbarrows, and he landed. And Marshy's really accident prone, right? So he just landed like on his, like, just hit his shin off it, and it mangled it. Luckily for me, he knocked it. He knocked
Out
it
of
out
the
the way, and I was just landing fine.
Nice.
And but then
Thanks there, Marshy.
the
You landed on him.
neighbour's
Ah,
the
nice
neighbour's
and
dog
soft.
came out. And my neighbour's dog was called Duke, actually. His name was Duke. And
Hey!
he came out, and because I always used to play with that dog, so because he knew me, he didn't bark. He just wanted to fuss,
Oh,
and I was like,
nice.
oh, and then we got away with it. but
King
yeah.
Duke. Yeah.
And you know what's funny as well? My mum just thought it was really funny that we did garden hopping. Like she helped us because we had black clothes on, right? And the only black jumper I
Yeah,
had
so
was
no one would see you.
yeah, my black jumper, right, was a Reebok jumper. So it had like Reebok in really bright letters on the front. So my mum helped me get like black tape and cover it.
Wow.
No, she did
She
not.
did,
Are you
yeah.
kidding
If you're gonna
me?
go skulking through people's gardens, you
she's
don't
like,
want to
"Yeah,
get
let's do it."
identified.
Wow.
Let's cover this up.
Look, let's encourage our kids to break the law.
She was
It's
just like,
fine.
yeah, you know, do what you gotta
Wow.
do. It's fine. Class.
Wow.
I'd rather you
I
did it
think-
with my help.
Yeah.
I think the most dangerous
That's my
things
boy.
we did as kids. We grew up in the country, and it was obviously you just did stupid shit. And somebody did like a rope. Do you remember rope swings that used to tie on a tree?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, and normally they're just over a bit of a stream or whatever
yeah,
into
yeah.
a pond. They don't hear that jive. No, someone in our village, we used to have a quarry near us, did a rope swing out over a 30-foot drop.
Yeah.
You know
Into a
what I mean?
quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah, into just a quarry. There was no. There was
Into
nothing...
to like swing across from ledge to ledge, or just like if you
No,
want
no,
to
you
jump
just
into
used
the
to
quarry.
swing out and back in again. So you'd swing out
that's
over
smart.
this.
What could
massive
go wrong?
drop.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
And
grief.
one of my friends, and he had like a tree branch for you to swing out on at the bottom, you know, like a sawn off tree branch. And as he swung out, it snapped in two. And he fell all the way
no.
down to the bottom and broke his leg in 3
Oh
places.
God,
And it's
that's,
just
I
like,
can't
but
make
we-
fun of that.
We used to just
I
do
can.
stupid stuff. We also had near us in this quite famous place called Eccleston Delph, which was yet another flooded quarry. So we used to go swimming there in the summer. And one of the cliffs you jumped off was called the tree jump, right? That's what it was called. the run, and the runner they used to call it, because halfway down, sticking out of the cliff, was a tree that had grown there, and you had to run fast enough and jump far enough to avoid landing in it on your way down. But people I never did this because it seemed a stretch too far, to be fair. But people used to do it. They would run for their lives, jump as far as they could, and sometimes they'd only avoid hitting it by like maybe a couple of feet at the most. You know what I mean? Skimming it on the way down. And I'm just thinking, that's like a serious accident waiting to
You're
happen.
lucky nobody got their head smashed open.
I know. Honestly, kids, we did crazy shit. We just did crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the emails.
No, there is more. There is more.
Callum's in the chat,
Sorry,
by
go
the way. Callum's in the chat.
I know.
Hi, Callum. in the
he says
chat.
hi.
Yeah,
James.
jam
What's next?
first. Just jam first.
But he says he's from Totnes, and my business partner's from Torquay, which is very close to Totnes. Well, he's from Newton Abbot. He's from Newton Abbot.
Callum says he works in Totnes.
Oh, he works in Totnes, but he lives in Exeter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
right.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Just what I'm going to do, Duke, because he has attached the warning they get for a flash flood. So I'm going to send it to you. Said you can play it. So let's have a
All
look.
right. Here we go.
Okay, it's coming. It's coming your
Oh,
way.
was that not it?
No, I've just sent
I
it.
played a
now.
different sound effect. Okay.
No, I just sent
That's
it
great.
anyway,
You
so-
should keep
How about
playing
this
that.
one?
That's-
10 reams for the U.S. District Court.
Anyway.
Did I happen to mention the 40 reams for the battered women's
Oh,
shelter?
God.
No. Huh?
Duke, I don't think I can take it. I
I
don't.
know.
Well, he
It's too
needs to
much.
send me this other thing. Here, there it
I've
is.
sent it. I've bloody sent it.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh my
Jesus
God! Can you just
Christ.
delete that fucking same file, please?
Did I play it now or play
Yeah,
it later?
just play it. Just play it.
All right, here we go. Oh, I got to download it and then play it. Crying out loud. All right, here we go. Oh, it's from this media player. Oh, for God's sake, just play it in Chrome. There we go. So this is Jason Gallagher, like,
Recording
filming
it,
it with
yeah,
his
yeah.
phone. You couldn't hear it very well in the background, but that
I
was
couldn't
it.
hear anything.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear it?
No, but
play it
then
again.
I can't hear out.
You
I
won't-
can't hear half
no,
of
you
anything.
can't hear it.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's because it's music.
It sort of sounds
Oh,
like
it
music.
It does sound kind of like some Brian Eno music for airports.
Yeah. Quite nice.
All right,
So
so
he
that's
said-
that. All right, we heard that.
So he says these camping grounds or resorts should warn parents visitors that they may be sleeping in a flood zone. They should be loud about it. Attached is the warning
Yes.
I get at my place. You should give it a listen, which I'm assuming it's a bit rubbish.
We just heard it. I mean, it's just hard to make out.
Anyway, I am just curious if you have sirens where you are. Are there flood zones with clear warnings? You see, we have flash floods. They kind of happen, but not in the same way.
Worcester has floods. Like,
Yeah,
you-
but
if-
he kind of.
anybody who lives in
slowly
Worcester that
happens.
listens to this show, you fucking know about floods because Worcester
Yeah.
gets flooded a lot.
It tends to be when the rivers break the banks that we
Yeah.
have problems. It's
But yeah,
not-
Worcester's right on a river, isn't it? Bridge
Yeah.
North as well, where you went close to, that gets flooded sometimes. But yeah,
We
Worcester.
have
Worcester's got a
tornado
cricket ground
noises.
next to it, and that gets flooded. It's fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are tornado sirens in our area here in Wisconsin, and once a month they'll test the tornado sirens. So like I remember when I first moved here, and then I just heard like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? They're like, what was it, Tuesday? Yeah, first Tuesday of the month they test out the tornado alarms. I was like, oh my God, I thought we were in the middle of like an air raid or something.
I always
Well, at
think
least you
like
know something's happening.
because they test the fire alarms at 2:30 on a
Something's
Wednesday where I work, and I always think, what a great time to start a fire would be 2:30 on a Wednesday, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to move.
Yeah.
He says, anyway, I'm just curious a bit about the sirens. He said, anyway, back to video games and nostalgia. I'm currently playing RoboCop, and it's amazing. Headshots galore, dark comedy, policing old school. I love it. Yeah, I like that. I play quite a lot.
Yeah,
of
I'd
that,
like to
and
play
then-
it. Yeah.
It's only
then something else.
$5
Yeah, something else
right
came
now on
along.
Steam for the summer scale. But,
And it works perfectly on the Steam Deck. It's a great Steam Deck game. He finishes one of these days. These boots are gonna stomp all over you. So that's a famous
Yeah.
song. These boots
Yes.
are made for walking. We're gonna get a copyright strike there because it sounded just like the song. Be safe out there. Stay on higher ground, Jason. So thank you, Jason.
yes, thank you, Jason.
Right, to finish us out, we have got a speak pipe of Saint.
speak pipe. It's the way to leave a
No,
message
it's
for
crap.
us.
All right, this is from Saint Diesel, and his tend to be quieter. So I'm going to actually turn the sound on my sound effects up a little bit, and remind me to turn it down later so that I don't have to try to fix it in post. So here we go.
All right.
Hey there, Gamer, St. Diesel back again. I'm sending this speak pipe on a Sunday morning. What time's it? 11:18. And I usually spend the end of the week, Sunday, in the house. I'm at work Monday to Friday, and Saturday I'm usually out and about doing a bit of shopping. But today I thought, well, it's a nice day, bit of sun, bit of warmth. I'll get out there. And where am I? Well, I'm at the mouth of the River Tyne in North Shields. And I'm looking across the River Tyne to South Shields. And it's quite a nice view. It's a pity I don't think you can sense photos with speak pipes. But the reason I'm here, well, I was just pottering about, and there is some video game involvement because I popped into the CEX in North Shields, and I wasn't really looking for anything particular, but I spotted one game which I did play back in the day on the PS3, but I picked it up today on the Xbox 360, and that is The Saboteur. And it's a game I did play for a little while, maybe 2 or 3 hours back in the day, but I never got that far in it, but I thought I'd pick it up again. And a game I've been playing recently on the PS3, earlier this week I should say, is Singularity. It's another oldish game, but no real reason for sending you a speak pipe, no questions. Just thought I'd give you a little bit of flavour to what I do on a Sunday. And that's it for now. Until next week.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate
Saboteur and
that.
Singularity. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I like Singularity better than Saboteur, but they were both good games.
Trip down memory lane.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I don't think I played a bit of Singularity. I don't think I ever actually played Saboteur, to be fair.
Yeah, I did. It had a nice mechanic where, so it was you're playing in Nazi-occupied Paris and you were sabotaging things, and it was a lot of stealth, which is why I didn't play it for very long. But it did have a cool mechanic where it was basically like black and white, or like black and like beige, and then when you liberated a part of the city from the Germans, that part of the city would come back to full color.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And so I
That's
thought
correct.
that was a cool mechanic.
It was like a Ubisoft game, but everything was black and white, and you unlocked the terror to make it colour. The problem was when it was colour, you realised that the graphics wasn't very good. It looked better when it was black and
That's
white.
true.
And
It was well done when it was stylized.
Singularity is the game. I think you had like
That
a sort
was
of time device, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, these stairs have been crumbled, but if you turn these stairs back in time, they'll do something. I don't know. I think
it'll
on
repair them. It'll be a crumbled down staircase, but if you move back in time, then the stairs.
I think I'm probably where I'm on Google Maps now. I'm probably where Derek was, walking along here.
That's him. You can see him. He's picking his nose.
Yeah, it does look nice. It looks really cool.
This is
Yeah.
I'm on North Shields sort of bank.
And
Where
you see the seagulls that were squawking in his ear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Attention, listeners! If you're going to send us a speak pipe, make sure you're in a quiet location. I'm just kidding, Derek. It was fine.
No, I like having the location so I can go on Google Maps and find out where they are.
Yeah, it looks
He likes
lovely.
to spy on people.
Yeah.
Chinny is a stalker.
I love Google Maps.
He's the one who sent out coordinates to my house.
Yeah, that's true. I love Google Maps. I just love looking at Google Maps.
It's an interesting piece of software.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Do you remember the game? By the way, do you remember the game based on Google Maps?
Was it like the
Yeah, they'd show you a picture and be like, "Where are you?"
No,
yeah,
was
you had
it-
to figure out where you were.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember
GeoGuessr.
what it was.
I mean, there's several games.
Yeah,
GeoGuessr.
there you go. GeoGuessr, there you go.
Have you seen the person who's the best at it? You can do it.
No.
You can do it in like seconds.
Really?
Yeah. You can be like, "Yep, you're here," and he's like, because they do races of it, and it's competitive GeoGuessr. Have you never seen this?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I've never seen it.
If you
But I
after
used
this
to love GeoGuessr.
after this, Stu, just type into YouTube GeoGuessr competitive, and you'll be amazed.
I'll have a look tomorrow.
You'll be
'cause
amazed.
I'm at work tomorrow, so I'm not going to do that. But I will do it tomorrow. I'll have a look.
You'll be amazed.
I'll be amazed. Can we just say James Bevan in the chat says, "Is Chitty okay?"
No, I'm not. I'm fastly like going down.
And SLA said, "No, he's got COVID, and Duke has been blowing his horn too much."
That horn almost
Just trying
broke
to
me.
cheer him up.
No, it's because I think this is the most talking I've done all day, so
Yeah.
it's
You know-
slowly like doing my head in.
We could wrap it up.
I couldn't hear the horn. Well, it is time to wrap it up as it goes.
Is it because it's too
so-
quiet? Should I try to turn the volume up?
No, it won't make any difference because I can't hear it.
I don't know. That sounds like a challenge.
I don't know. So, let's do some shout-outs and get the hell out of here.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'm going first. I want to shout out Amar because we were trading memes about this stupid law classifying anyone who supports Palestinian human rights as a terrorist. Listen to Low Key. His song Terrorist is perfectly fitting for this moment. Shout out to Antonio. We had some Rocket League. And shout out to Jacinta because she's been playing Once Human. Yeah. So she said she's really enjoying it. And I would love to play with her. We haven't coordinated yet, but hopefully we can have a game together.
We haven't had a speak pipe off Jacinta for a long time.
Yeah, she said she's not using a lot of stuff. Like she stopped using WhatsApp and some other things. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out you two guys for having a lot of fun playing Peak this afternoon.
Yeah, we did.
For long. I had a lot of fun doing that.
It was good.
I'm going to also shout out everybody who's been in the chat tonight, like Celia SLH, Callum, James Bevin.
Soul Brother.
Tons of people. Soul Brother. We've had loads of people in the chat.
That's
which
right.
is always nice. Always nice.
Thank
And
you, everybody,
Celia,
for
probably
joining
did.
us live.
Mr. Night Lord. Don't forget Mr. Night
If you're
Lord.
not joining us live, you're missing half the fun, people. Come on by next week.
So thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat, and I think that's about it. And I'm going to do an unshout out because I'm back at work tomorrow after having a lovely 2 weeks off.
Sorry, what's an unshout out?
Because I don't want to shout them out because I'm going back to work. It's a
Shout out your work
non-shout out.
people?
It's the opposite of shout out. Well, who wants to go back to work?
I like going to my
After a
job.
holiday? Well, you're one of those weird people.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. There you
All
go.
right, Chinny, shout outs.
I'm going to shout out Ajax because he agreed with me and said,
Zip it about.
totally agree with you, Chinny, about,
Is that what he said?
about
Zip it about.
festivals. I don't think I could go to them as a punter. I'm such a princess. Working at Glastonbury, we are looked after really well. Secure campsite, regularly clean toilets and showers, catering. It's fab.
Nice.
You know,
what do you
I
what do you
will
do?
say-
What do you do? Is it sound? It's sound shit. Sound shit.
Yeah,
I
he
think
does,
it is.
he
Isn't
does
it?
some stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does some
Yeah.
What I will say, when we went to Dursbury Festival, they had a fucking shit ton of toilets. I've got to say, because we
I know,
talked about getting
I
VIP
think it's
tickets.
just- yeah, go on. Sorry.
VIP tickets, so you'd have access to toilets and stuff dead easy. But I'll be honest, the main site had fucking hundreds of them, and they were fine. They were all clean. You know, they probably weren't as clean by the end of the night, but you know, first thing in the day, it was absolutely fine. It was fine. So yeah, didn't have any issues with that. So there you go.
You know, the best place to go for portable toilets during a music festival. I just wanted an excuse to play this Triumph the Talking Comic Dog sound effect.
No, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. The correct answer is who gives a
There you go. Sorry, I was
Classic
yawning there.
Triumph. Yes, well, we better wrap it up.
Yeah.
We better
Anybody
wrap it
else?
up. No, that's it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you for
everyone.
listening.
Thank you, good much love.
All right, show's over. No
I'll shout
refunds.
out,
You heard the
shout
robot.
out
Get out.
Andre the dog as well.
The music's Andre. Yeah, that's okay. I'll allow that even though the music's playing right now. Yay, Andre the dog. I didn't even tell us why we named him Andre. I will do so when the music's over. There's like 4 reasons why we named him Andre.
After the rapper.
What's with all the sound bites?
So, yeah, well, that's part of it. So he's on our dog was found in Alabama, and he was brought up to Wisconsin. So we wanted a name that represented the southern United States, and of course, thinking about rappers, I suggested Mike, as in Killer Mike, who is from Atlanta, Georgia, and then we were talking about other rappers because the Duchess wanted a name that was a little more unusual, and she
What's
hates
wrong
the
with
name
Mike?
Mike. Just kidding. There's nothing wrong with
Fucking
Mike.
Mike.
Fucking
Mike.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mentioned Andre 3000 from Outkast, even though he's from Georgia as well. I don't know any rappers from Alabama, so whatever. But then we were thinking about other things that were in Andre, the favor of the name Andre. Andre the Giant, classic. She went looking for some names of that were popular in Belarus, which is where my father's side of the family is from, and one of them listed was Andre. DREI rather than just RE as the French version.
Yeah.
So that was a plus. And then we realized Andre Braugher, who of course plays Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, awesome actor who passed away not long ago. So those are some good reasons why the name Andre was a positive, and it's a cool name.
Well, your
So we
dog
went
could
with
have been
Andre.
named, because these are rappers from Alabama, Gucci Mane,
Yeah, Gucci Mane's not very
Gucci Mane,
talented.
Yellow Wolf,
I don't know who that is.
Flo Milli,
Mm.
I like that.
OMB Pizzy. Could have named your dog.
So you could just make up a bunch of names now, and I would have no idea.
You could have named your dog. Hey, OMB Pizzy, get here. You could have named your dog Rich Boy.
No, I couldn't. That's a
Rich-
dumb name.
What's your rapper name? Rich Boy.
Rich
is it,
Boy.
Is it
You
going
put a lot of
well?
work into that one, huh?
Is it going well? No.
No. First of all, there's a lot of rich boys.
Yeah.
You got to call yourself a little rich boy to stand out.
Yeah. So there you are. Anyway, that's it.
All right. Well, that's good to
Anyway,
know that there are some
look at all
moderately
those choices
talented
you
rappers
could
from
have had.
Alabama.
I've heard of Yellow Wolf before and Gucci Mane, but I don't know the others.
I knew Gucci Mane, but he wrote a book. I remember I was at a bookstore and I saw it. One of my students really liked Gucci Mane. It's like, I could buy this $25 book for him, but he probably wouldn't read it, and nobody else is going to be interested, so I'm not going to spend the money. But I could
Yeah,
probably
it's
get it
probably
now
a
for
wise
like
choice.
$2 on A
Probably
Libris.
a wise choice.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I've got to go because I've got to go to bed and get up for
And I gotta go
work
'cause I'm
at
tired of
5:30,
having the headset on.
ugh,
I gotta go
I've
because
been
I'm
up at
dying.
5:05 2 weeks.
'Cause you're dying. All right, well, have a
Chinny's
good week,
died of
everybody. Feel better,
COVID.
Chinny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel better soon.
Catch you on the flip side, flippy
Yeah,
floppies.
catch you later,
See you in a bit.
alligators.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.